That one down. Right. Does that made any difference now?
Anything?
Have we got anything? Can anybody hear us? This is definitely an LG propaganda and Grobi propaganda, definitely.
I feel like they can hear us. We are.
Are we good? Are we good?
And it's the Goblin that fixed it. Goblin fixed it.
Right, we're all good. I know, sorry about that for
The
everybody.
Engineers Guild is going to be up in arms.
The Engineers Guild is not happy about that. Right, thank you so much, everybody, for your patience. We are at the sunny Forgotten North this weekend.
Less sunny than yesterday, shall we say?
Yeah, definitely less sunny than yesterday. I hope you're all well. Welcome to the stream. We've got a little bit of a new look going on. Is the sound okay? Does it sound all right? Please let us know.
We are loud and clear.
Yes.
It's what I'm
Right, we're all good. We're all good. Perfect. Right.
Welcome. Thank you, everybody, for coming. We're here for 5 games of Forgotten North action today. We are focusing a little bit more on the fun side of things today. We'll see how things go tomorrow. We have learned our lessons. There will be no vampire on vampire action on this stream. We will not let it happen. So we will give updates as to how the tournament's going. However, no vampire mirrors. In fact, there's only like 2 vampire players here this weekend, but no Cathay mirrors as they dance around each other. We will try to focus on a little bit more interesting games for everybody. There are some fantastic lists here this weekend. We are good to go with today's game. So do you want to introduce our players?
Yes. So today in the bottom corner, that is Aaron, who's going to be running the X-Force. We're going to be going through his list very soon. And then up top, who hasn't started putting down any models yet, that is Andy from Team England. He is going to be running Dave Brewis's Goblin list. So that is the beams that we did the video on the other day. So we're going to be showcasing this list for everybody out there who wants to see it. How is everybody doing this morning? So we've got the age-old battle this morning. It's the old enemies. It is the goblins versus the dwarves.
It's the classic of the game's still the same. It just got more fierce if you've ever watched The Wire. So this is Orcs and Goblins, but it is technology. It is flying, it is nonsense, and it's Highlander. It's laser beams. It is nonsense coming the other way. So
yeah, no, it definitely is.
as the battle rages, as the hatred grows, they find new ways to kill each other, which is exciting to see.
Yeah, I mean, Aaron does have the tools to be able to stop the goblins from doing most of their damage. He's going to have the Rune of Calm in there to be able to stop a lot of the spells. And he's also got Entrench so he can stop the Fanatics. In the comp at this event, they do stop Fanatics. So he's going to be sappered up, going to be digging those little trenches and stopping a lot of the damage coming through, and then hopefully stopping a lot of the spells going off as well. But then again, he's going to be able to get a lot of cover onto those units of goblins, going to try and stop a lot of shots going through. So I don't know. I think this is kind of anyone's game, but I do think this is going to be a bit of a harder one for the Dawi, I think.
I think so. And this is an interesting modification of the Strategic Objectives 2 for this event. So what they've done is they've gone, it's Strategic Objectives 2, but to stop people camping and sitting in their own deployment all game, they've moved them to now be mid-board, 2 objectives. So they are mid-board, you've got to fight over the objectives, which I think is a nice modification.
Yeah, it means you can't just camp in your deployment zone. So the other special rules for this round is a special feature in the center of the board, which is the red top of the tower that you can see there. And then it is also baggage train for this as well. So there are a few other points on the board. They've both got big blocks, so they're both going to be able to score quite a bit, actually. So whoever pushes forward first, and also whoever gets the central feature is going to be getting some extra points at the end of the game.
Definitely. And yeah, we're looking at this one with the center board. This is very much a list that the Orcs and Goblins want to play, in terms of this scenario especially. You are, to score the objectives, you've got to come into the kill zone. So Andy will be happy with that. He can win this game on objectives alone, and that will likely be his plan. He's currently deploying what looks like a movement tray. This is my actual army that I'm lending Andy for him. So you will start to see some goblins go on it. He does have the models, he's just not put them on yet. He's not gone for my trick. which is to deploy everything else, and then at the last 2 drops to put down the lines of goblins to create the cover. I'm also noticing something that wait till he says it's confirmed the deployment. But he's lining that up in the front. He is going to go wide with the goblins in this game. He is trying to create cover, because if he doesn't, those dwarfs will shoot them off the board very, very quickly. So he's trying to engineer cover.
Yep.
He's going to use probably 2 lines of goblins to do it. And he's going to use that to screen the rest of his army. Later in the game, he may try to use spells like Travel Mystical Pathway to teleport those lines behind once they start to take too many casualties. But it's going to be a lot of damage that the dwarfs are going to need to do to stop Andy from scoring in this game. So
yeah, I think we're going to be seeing probably a lot of line hammer from both sides. I think it's definitely not going to be for the combat potential. It's going to be able to try and abuse cover, and also trying to get as many shots as humanly possible as well. Mark, thank you so much for that, mate. Really appreciate it. Morning, mate. Thank you so much. Well, I've already had quite a bit of bacon this morning, actually, which has been quite nice. So thank you so much, mate. Hope you have a great weekend. Hopefully we'll have a great weekend of Warhammer on this end as well. This game is going to be an interesting one. Can the X-Force shoot through the goblins, or can the goblins Fanatic and beam through the dwarves?
Said something straight away. So Andy has decided to go a little bit more aggressive. I think if he'd gone an inch back on that first unit, he could have had that first unit within the forest to get the -1 for cover from that. But also using that impassable that is on my right, his left, to create another instance of cover as well. Because this is very much just trying to reduce the output of those dwarf handguns, really, and score. So you can sort of lap them so that they're giving each other hard cover. But he's not gone for that. He's gone more aggressive. So it'll be interesting to see how that one works out.
I mean, an interesting one as well. The fact that the central feature is there as well, setting up the Thunderers right in the center of the board, I think is potentially a mistake. I feel that he should have gone off to one flank, because the special feature is going to be giving at least -1 or -2 on, depending on angles, to be able to shoot with those Thunderers. So I think that might have potentially been the first mistake, even just in deployment.
Yeah.
But we'll see if that comes to bite him in the ass later on. So I think before we do anything else, should we have a quick look through the lists?
We can do, yeah.
Right, let's have
who are we starting with?
So I think right, there we go.
That.
Are we working now?
Are we working now?
Is that working? Right, I think, yeah, it's just on a, I think we could be golden now.
We should be good.
Yeah, working?
We're waiting for confirmation.
Are we working?
We are back.
Yeah, cool.
Would you like to tell us about some dwarfs, Richie? You've never talked about them before.
I know, yeah. I hate tech. It's a nightmare. So this list is Video Killed the Thunderstar, and it's going to be starting off with the general, which is Burlock Damington. You know Burlock. So a funny fact, so in Aaron's practice game last night, Burlock actually managed to kill himself in combat, over 2 rounds of combat, just killing himself, which is always a fun one. So the reason you're going to be taking Burlock is the fact that he is leadership 10, and he also has a couple of really fun abilities. One of the best abilities, what he's going to basically be using this army for, is he gets rid of the long range -1 to hit for the unit that he's in, and also inside his command range he can give a reroll 1s to hit for a Thunderers unit or a Quarrelers unit. I mean, there's only Thunderers here, or a cannon. So you're going to be seeing how many ones you get and then potentially firing the cannon afterwards. So he's a really, really nice pick. Quite cheap as well. He's only 85 points. Then we have an engineer sapper with a great weapon and a handgun. The reason you're going to be taking the sappers in this is for the entrench. So in the to be able to entrench a unit, you use it in either of the command phases. You do a leadership test, which is going to be leadership 9 because you can't use your generals, and then you're going to basically be getting earth and rampart. So you're going to be stopping impact hits, multi-attack in this comp, and also, most importantly in this matchup, the Fanatics. It also gives you a cover as well, which is quite nice.
Only to the front.
Only to the front, unless you're in skirmish, and then you do get it 360 until you're charged, and then it goes into the flank that you are charged in.
It's interesting in this game, especially with Andy going wide with his goblins, it gives him a large area where he can actually release them. So he can get into the flanks and still do work with them. Yeah,
he definitely can. So Aaron's going to have to be really tricksy with his like redeploys and getting his nice like reforms and getting tricksy with that for sure. He then has another sapper with a great weapon and a handgun. The reason that you take the great weapons on these is because when people charge you in with entrench, normally everyone gets dropped down to 1 attack. So if you've got a nice high strength, high AP attack with that great weapon, that's really good. The handgun, these guys are ballistic skill 5 as well. So it's really nice for some good standard shoots to get that extra combat res on the way in. Next up, we have a Runesmith with full plate armor, shield, and Master Rune of Calm. I love the Master Rune of Calm. The reason you're going to be taking the Runesmith in this build is to be able to get the MR2 onto the units that they're in, to be able to try and stop spells. Forge Fire, which is one of the abilities they give the unit, giving an extra armor bane on 6s. So a normal handgun on a 6 will be AP 4, which is absolutely massive. The Rune of Calm is amazing as well, adding +2 to the opponent's casting in 18 inches if you roll relatively low, or if you roll above an 11, which is a 9 on the dice because this is a bound spell plus level 2, then it's a 36-inch aura of +2 to cast, which can make stuff very difficult to get off. Those beams would be quite hard. Because in this comp, the beams don't get affected by magical resistance. Oh, they do? They do. Ooh, they do. So just in the combat,
they have line of sight, and they trigger magic resist.
Interesting.
There is a lot of interesting changes for this event.
That is interesting. I missed that one going through the pack, actually. That's interesting.
We're going to see some wild travel mystical pathways as well. I'll tell you that for free.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. So next time we've got another Runesmith to give the other unit MR2. And then we have the Fireball Thane. So this guy is the BSB. He's on Shield Bearers to get the extra wounds, which is always really nice. If you can try and get the BSB to last a bit longer, then this is always amazing. He's got the obligatory Bursting Flame, Rapid Fire, Accuracy, and then Passage. Passage is there so that he can go into the Thunderers and then give them the move through cover, which is really good because you're going to be charging out. You don't want to lose any movement or anything as well. On the BSB, he's got the Rune of Grungni and Courage, which is really nice. Courage you kind of always need. I've tried a few games without it recently and it's just not good.
One game and then we fall
one game. It's like, right, we need that guard. Grungni is amazing. That gives a 5-up ward and then a 6-up ward within 6 inches to other units as well. It's very, very strong. Going into the core, we have a unit of 28 Thunderers. These are fully upgraded with Expeditionary Marksman, Veteran, Standard Bearer, and Musician. Then a unit of 20 Rangers, just fully upgraded with a Standard Bearer and Musician. Interestingly, he hasn't decided to put Rune of Battle on the standard. He could have here for the extra 25 points, which is an interesting one. I'm surprised he didn't go for that. And then we have a unit of 2 Scout Gyrocopters, a unit of 1 Scout Gyrocopters, a cannon, which is upgraded to a function over form with a Stalwart Rune. The Stalwart Rune is giving a +1 combat res, so if he's charged by skirmishes, could potentially actually win that combat. And then the next cannon has the Rune of Reloading and also upgraded to function over form as well. Then the final cannon has function over form and the Rune of Forging. The Rune of Forging basically acts as an engineer, so it gives a reroll to a misfire, which you probably need in this list as there isn't any other engineer.
And this is Aaron, so he will need that reroll.
Yes, yeah, 100%. Right, so let's come out of there. Jump back into the game a sec so we can have a look at some of the deployments, and then I will just set up for the next list while we're doing this. So how's the deployment going anyway for him?
So it's a block of goblins in the center. Aaron has gone very wide with the dwarfs. It is the battle of the lines today. They are trying to impersonate a much larger, more impressive battle by stretching everything out wide. They're just looking to maximize output, or in Andy's case, trying to minimize the output of the dwarfs. Andy's very much looking to win this game on the objectives. And he's going to look to see if he can pick up the gyrocopters. are the obvious target for him. But yeah, it's very tight deployment. Everything's together. Andy's going to want to use the General's Leadership bubble with the BSB to just make sure it goes nowhere. So very straightforward deployment from both sides. There is some gyrocopters looking suspiciously on the flank there. So be interesting to see if Aaron gets aggressive with those. They are something that Andy will probably target. It's one thing that he can easily score.
Yeah, for sure. So do you want to have a quick run through the list, mate?
I've never seen the list before, but I'll try and figure out what it does. I'm no expert on this one, but we will try our best. So running through it, you've got a Night Goblin Big Boss, just Battle Standard Bearer, completely naked, just there to give rerolls on panics to keep your things on the board. You've got a Night Goblin Big Boss ×2, just with a great weapon. They just give a little bit of punch to the units of goblins. Fundamentally, they're there to pay the goblin tax. For every unit of Night Goblins you take, you must have a Night Goblin character to pay for that. So he's then got a Night Goblin Oddgit, level 1 on Illusion. Now, this is a piece where you can take one of 3 spells, typically, every game. Either you can take Itchy Nuisance, which is great for reducing toughness. It makes the beams more powerful.
Yeah, definitely is.
I've got the Curse of Mork, which can force your opponent to reroll successful armor saves on a 6, which, when everything in your list is AP3, is very good. And finally, you've got Glittering Robes. Now, Andy has gone for Glittering Robes in this game. Makes sense. He's just trying to minimize the impact of the shooting. You will see that Goblin sitting in that front unit, making everything trickier for the Dwarves to do what they want to do. Yep. So, moving forwards, and real innovation from Andy on this one. I'd never seen this list before he submitted it. We've got a Weird Boy, level 2, on Elementalism with the Spell Eater Axe. Now, in terms of spells, he has got the Gaze of Gork and Summon Elemental Spirits. Summon Elemental Spirits is a very, very good spell in this game. It creates more cover. Because you can't see through the vortex, he is able to then, once again, make the shooting worse for his opponent. That also gives him Magic Resist 2, which is going to be impactful in this game.
It's going to be really good. With all of those Dawi spells that are going to be coming across the board.
Coming across the board there. You've then got a level 2 Orc Weird Boy on Elementalism again. This guy's got the Ruby Ring of Ruin, and he once again got Gaze of Gork and Elemental Spirits on his spells. You've got a level 1 Elementalism Staff of Quietude, which is a leadership test, which can remove all remain players in play in the game. We will never see that used in this game because it will bring down all of Andy's Summon Elemental Spirits as well. Any remains in play disappears. So
not very impactful in this one, but I can imagine going forward it's going to be quite good into like Tomb Kings and Beastmen especially.
Yeah. And those guys are your baby beamers. You've then got the daddy beamers, where you've got your level 4 Elementalism, Tome of Spellcraft, which is a reroll once per turn for a spell, and the Glowy Green Amulet, which, when targeted in his unit, he can dispel a spell on a 2+. If he rolls a 1, he does a wound to himself. So it's just there to make sure key spells don't go off. So you're looking at Doppelganger, you're looking at Spirit Leech, things that can really change the game. He's got an answer to that. And he has managed to get Gaze of Gork, Summon Elemental Spirits, Earthen Ramparts, and Wind Blast on that guy. So he is, all of the shooting spells has come in on that guy. And then you've got the level 3 Elementalism General. He has a Power Scroll, Lore Familiar, and the Icon of Fortitude. So Andy, in his testing, when he was building this list himself, clearly has played Cathay a few times and doesn't want his general to be shot by cannons.
Which makes sense.
Icon of Fortitude just means that multi-wounds does a single wound into him. So you've not only got the Lookout Sir, but you've also got, you can only do 1 wound.
Yeah, which is really, really good. I mean, like, Dwarves have got a similar thing with the Rune of Preservation, which if you can spam that across all of your characters, then suddenly being able to survive against multiple cannon shots is amazing. It is really, really good. It's slightly annoying that every character in the game that's on foot can get that now, but it is what it is, right?
I mean, it's key, though. You can't run a foot list without it, it's the problem. Cannons at the moment are a little bit too accurate. And the ability to snipe characters out of units, you've just got to have that protection there to do it. So He's then got his level 3 spells, which is Travel Mystical Pathway, Ramparts, and Wind Blast. Interesting here, there is only one Travel Mystical Pathway, which might have informed the deployment. So I was looking at potentially using that impassable terrain on the left of the screen to create hard cover. However, that Travel Mystical Pathway has to go off. If it doesn't, your army's trapped in that spot, which Aaron would love. So he's clearly deployed around it. He does have a power scroll to force it through, but he has gone for the low risk play, which makes a lot of sense.
It does. It does.
So that's all the characters. I feel like I've been here for half an hour. What sort of degenerate mind would come up with a list like this?
Well, I mean, basically, the entire list is the characters, right? And then the rest is just ablative wounds.
How dare you? I feel like there's more stuff coming. So in your core, you've got 3 units of 30 Night Goblins, full command with 3 Fanatics in each. And then 1 unit of 20 Night Goblins with 2 Fanatics in it. This is just Orc and Goblins core. At this point, Night Goblins are incredible at scoring. They'll just sit on an objective all day. They're going to do nothing in combat, but they do have the Fanatics to stop things charging them. If you play them well, you can sit on an objective for 4 or 5 turns without being threatened.
Yeah.
And once you get late, you've got a big leadership 10 bubble from your general. As long as he's supporting, they're going to be solid for as long as you can be, really. You've got a unit of 19 Orc mobs with warbows, light armor shield. They are skirmishers.
The secret sauce.
Which is the new tech to get angles on beams. Because of the Forgotten North ruling, you do need to see the target to declare it. So by going skirmisher, Andy, very thoughtful when he's built this list for himself, that he definitely did, has gone skirmish to get 360 line of sight with those beamers. Another really interesting element, which is not going to be as impactful in this game, but if you've got multiple versions of Travel Mystical Pathway, you, as a skirmisher in the ruling in this event, you create a 12-inch bubble around every model, and that creates, if you stretch them out, can make a huge bubble. And then...
So with the spells in this edition, there's certain different ways to be able to know your spells beforehand. So like the Anvil of Doom, for instance, you just have the set amount of spells. There's certain items that let you choose spells, but majority you're going to be rolling on them before the game starts. So you would basically have your wizard level, then you would roll that many dice, and then re-roll if you get the same duplicate of the number.
There is Lore Familiar where you can select the spell. And the strength of this list in particular, and a lot of lists, is you need to review your signature spells. So a signature spell can be swapped out for any spell that you've rolled.
Yeah, so Val was using Dave's list. Dave sent it over to Val for him to use and was showing him how to use it, yeah.
This is Andy's list. I've had nothing to do with this war crime.
Oh, have you had nothing to do with this one?
To do.
Apart from doing the original one.
Val did play a 1-for-1 copy of my Six Nations list. But...
Still.
Couple elements. So there is the Thinking Orcs banner hat on the champion. So that is an element of risk in the list here, that if he fails a lookout cert on the champion, you could create the unit as impetuous at that stage. Now, it will be leadership 10 if it's supported by the general, so it's not as big of a deal, but it's still not the nicest thing for that unit of orcs and characters and points to charge into a wall of dwarf. So not perfect, but it's the best you can do with character points. And finally, we've got the 2 ubiquitous Doom Divers. Those guys can just reach out and touch everything on the board. So really good list. It's going to be interesting to see how this does. There's a couple of interesting rulings at Forgotten North, as I say. Skirmishers, Travel Mystical Pathway can result in much bigger moves than you would usually see if you are using the Comfac. And you can see that Andy has stretched out to his right. Potentially I would be looking at the left myself, because those gyrocopters are vulnerable over there, but we will see.
Well, I'll tell you what, let's jump back into the screen so we can have a look at the deployment. So they have both gone heavy on the left-hand flank, which it seems the gyrocopters are fully on the right hand. So we've kind of changed this up a little bit. We did have it a bit angled last time. I've gone for a top-down this time. Hopefully it is a little bit better for everybody that's watching, so you can see a little bit better what's going on. So on the dwarf deployment, which is at the bottom of the board, the Thunderers are in a big line with a second rank in the center. The Rangers are off to the left. We are missing, I think, probably about 2 inches on the left-hand side of the board, unfortunately, but I just couldn't really get it any higher. And we were kind of limited there, unfortunately. And then the gyrocopters on the right-hand flank. Do you want to explain what he's doing with the goblins?
Well, I'm just looking at it, and I'm semi-questioning where it's going, because you've got 3 full lines of goblins, so 30 wide. You've got then 1 unit which will be 10 wide. I'm assuming the general has gone into that 10 wide, and Andy is taking the risk that leadership 9 will be enough for him, because you're looking to warband with at least 2 ranks to get it up. He's only got 1 rank in the game at the moment. If it was myself playing this, even if I was using that 20, I would go 5 wide, try to get the ranks up, keep them safe.
Keep
that general's leadership, because I know you get a reroll on the panics, but I don't like leadership 10, so I fail it all the time. So maybe leadership 9 is something that's going to pass for him, but it's interesting to see other people playing the list.
So they have just rolled off for the first turn.
It looks like it's Aaron is going first.
Yes.
Very good for him.
Yeah, so the dwarves are going to be going first. So the circles in the middle of the board are going to be the strategic locations. This is strategic locations too, but like we were saying earlier, although we might have been muted at the time, unfortunately, Forgotten North has changed up the way that they are doing these strategic locations. They are having them in the center of the board to make it a more engaging game. So you can't just sit back. You've got to push forward to grab those objectives. And this is also a special feature and baggage train as well.
So Master Runicam has gone off on a small, so it's not likely to play an impact this turn. I see problems in the future of that cannon.
Hey, you're right, mate. It's we all feel that way, mate. We all feel that way.
It's the joys of this top-down deployment. Just to give out a shout to David, who's been on a few YouTube channels. Check out Renown Forge. We could very much make some cool bat reps out of these as well. Old school GW ones.
We definitely could do. So kind of an interesting one since 1.5. In like hyper competitive play, it does seem like Linehammer is kind of making a return. Like especially in, I would say probably like the weaker armies for sure, but then also like Tomb King's Recafin is definitely doing that as well. I tell you what, I'm really sorry about the camera flicker, everyone. This is a completely new camera and also a new cable from last time. So I've got no idea why it's got the same flicker. I don't know if it's just because it's coming through a 5-meter cable or not. I'm not sure, but I do apologize. So yes, Entrench does kill Fanatics. So the reason that Entrench kills Fanatics and Earthen Ramparts doesn't is because Earthen Ramparts specifically only works when you're charged, whereas Fanatics just fly into you. So it does state in the rule that they do. But he's going to be trying to do a lot of his damage through beams and probably not too much with the Fanatics. The Fanatics, I can imagine, are probably just going to be used on either trying to get rid of the cannons or the gyrocopters. Yeah. They're not going to be used to do the damage to the units.
The gyrocopters that have pushed on the left, that'll be the primary target. It's an easy kill for Andy if he can get it. Andy's clearly picked out what he wants to do in terms of it. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward, this gameplay. He's going to try to minimize the output and the shooting from the dwarves. He's going to try and tempt them in. Yeah, it's a pretty rough one, this, because it's strategic 2, horizontal. If this was strat 2, it would be a 10-10, which Andy would have loved. He loves the 10-10, does Andy. But I think because it's horizontal, the goblins are just going to walk up onto those objectives, score 60 a turn, and then pick everything else. I'm going to sort of have an early bet on a small win for the Goblins on this one. Maybe a 13-14.
It depends. I think if Aaron pushes too hard, this could be a big win for the Goblins, but we'll see. So do you want to talk him through why the Earthen Ramparts? There are several reasons for this.
It's just redundancy on spells. So I don't know if you've followed lists I've wrote in the past. I think Elementalism is the best lore for a tournament in the game. There's just spells which are good consistently through that lore. And what you're really trying to do is get Earthen Ramparts, Travel Mystical Pathways, Wind Blast, Plague of Rust is pretty good. Summon Elemental Spirits is a good spell. It's hard to miss on Elementalism. So by putting them onto Elementalism, you're rolling 2 spells. You might get something good, you might not. But the bottom out of the Elementalism is much lower than if you put them onto, say, Battle, where Fireball is an excellent spell in this list. If I could get Fireball on all of them, I would love it. But there's a lot of misses on Battle. So Pillar of Fire, because it doesn't block line of sight, is not as good.
Yeah.
Arcane Urgency, it's okay. It's not as sort of dominant as Travel Mystical Pathway as a spell. So
just really, really good, consistent building spells that just let you do what you want to do. It's control spells, right?
Yeah.
So basically, as a dwarf player, the things that I really don't want to happen is for the goblins to TMP in a big line sideways, because then you can put your fanatics through the flanks of my units, which is horrendous. Because remember, the fanatics go before I get a chance to move. So if you can come in a big line up, then suddenly you can go at an angle, go into the flank. You're only entrenched to the front. If you're 360, then it's a little bit harder, but it's quite easy to get.
Has actually got the first turn. That was a Vanguard move.
Oh, was that a Vanguard?
It was a Vanguard.
Huh? Oh.
No, it's not. He's not moved forward, so he's out of range of the shooting. Aaron has not come forward to take the turn 1 shooting. So this is turn 1 for the Orcs and Goblins now. He's looking to get his ramparts up. He's got several of them to put in the front line. Again, getting a 5-up ward save into the shooting will make them worse. That is very passive from Aaron, which is understandable. It's a scary list to go into. Is vacating the objectives going to work for him? He needs to kill units.
Yeah,
the key.
He does, but he doesn't want to push up. I can see what he's doing. I think the biggest mistake he probably would have made is to push up too early. So I think he's going to try and get Andy to move in. So he's going to get that extra turn of shooting, definitely. So to be honest, not much has actually happened so far. So we're just going into Andy's turn 1.
Yep.
The goblins are going to start mooching up. He's just ranging out where he could potentially TMP to. So let's see where he can go to. Honestly, for magical laws, it really depends what army you're going to use. There are lots of different magical laws that are amazing in different armies. It's just elementalism works really well.
It's one of those ones that if you've got 5 games at a tournament, there's going to be something in that law that will help with every game. That's why I like it.
Welcome to the stream, mate. Nice to chat to you from the other side of the world. I hope you're well, mate. I hope you're well.
So the Travel Mystical Pathway has gone off. So you've got a very early aggression to take the objectives. He's only going to get 1 of them this turn, because he does only have 1 output of Travel Mystical Pathway. But that is going to be some early Fanatic drops into those gyrocopters. So we've got a march going forwards again. So turn 2, we'll score both.
And just remember as well, because the gyrocopters have Vanguard move, they're not going to be able to charge either. So they're not going to be able to charge into the flank of those goblins either.
I think you still see Fanatics early here.
Yeah, no, I think so as well. Yeah.
There's no point in this game to use them. The only consideration you have, again, this is a Forgotten North ruling, that Fanatics are not themselves units. So if Andy can get aggressive, put them into the flank of that big unit of dwarfs, and then start wind blasting, of which he's got several, into them. That will push the dwarfs back into the Fanatics to get multiple hits from them. It's the one situation where you would say, yes, you can release Fanatics in your own turn.
Yeah.
Because all the time you want to make sure that you're releasing them in your opponent's turn to stop him from charging.
Yes, we've got some Kiwis in.
We've got Kiwis, the best Australians, as far as I'm concerned.
Hey, you're right, Rich. How's it going, mate? You okay? Yeah, I think entrenched is relatively hard to deal with until you've played into it quite a few times, and then I think it comes quite easy to kind of work around. I think it's more the psychological effect of it that can help the dwarves win games. But then as soon as you can kind of work out the ways around it, it's not that hard to kind of.
I think it's the challenge I have with it. As a rule, I can totally buy into people saying that it's not that fun to play into, that you only get one attack. And I agree. However, it needs wholesale changes to dwarfs to be able to make them viable. So taking away Entrench just sort of kills dwarfs in any sort of competitive fashion. Yeah. So I'd hate to see it go without them getting something to replace it if they were to change that ruling. Yeah, there is counterplay to it.
There is a lot of counterplay, actually. You can just kind of smash through it. I mean, the thing for me is, like, I've been speaking to a lot of the dwarf players especially that are here this weekend and online. And to be honest, none of us want to play sappers. None of us want to play Expeditionary Force anymore. A lot of people are just kind of generally quite bored with it anyway. So I would love to see some changes brought in to buff some combat dwarves. That's what we want to see.
The combat dwarves did not like playing into the beams. That is for sure.
Yeah, I was literally just there. I bought some more dwarves again. I'm just in the process of starting I think this is my 7th dwarf army now.
I did buy Richie a dwarf army because I felt like he didn't have enough dwarf armies.
Yeah, so I'm going to be doing a vote in the Discord soon for which hold they want me to do, and then going for that one. Yeah, no, you do. I hope you have a really good train ride. Safe travels back. Hope you had a good time at Warhammer World. Oh, Rich is going to be taking notes.
It's fine.
Right, so
I offer free coaching. Just ask me.
Yeah. So we have, talking about coaching, we actually have a question about the skirmishes.
Yep. So, as it comes up, because I'm looking at a different screen, I'm sort of 3 seconds behind.
Oh, okay.
So this is something we're trying. You can run it 2 ways. The idea of the skirmishes is that the actual general for the army goes into a unit of night goblins because he's lore familiar anyway. He's not going to be beaming, so you don't need him in those positions. So he actually goes with the goblins to keep everything else on the board. Because once you get out of position with your general, then you're looking at leadership 5 checks. If you're in this sort of matchup where you are taking a lot of shooting, which can be quite punishing on the testing. So the move to skirmishes, it saves you points on the Swirling Wind banner because you already get a -1 to your shot at. So it is cheaper, but it also gives you more line of sight because what you want in this list, there is a lot of shooting and a lot of magical shooting, which needs line of sight, it needs arcs. What happens if you kill your first target? Well, you lose all of that shooting if you are in a block. So if you play it as a block, it is much more stable. It is the much easier way to run this list because it's hard to lose your wizards. However, the skirmishers gives you much more flexibility. So it's always a balance when you're list building that this is very, very strong, but I'm taking a risk. If I'm charged, I could lose the units. I'd use a lot of combat rares. I'm relying on my general being elsewhere in the units. So that's the move to skirmishes. It's a point saving and flexibility change in the list.
Yeah, for sure. And it's just a lot harder to deal with them. So the skirmishing orcs are pushing up onto the hill. What he's going to be doing is leaving 1 or 2 orcs behind the hill to give them cover.
You'll leave all of them. Well, you'll have wizards on the hill and orcs behind to get -2 to shoot. -3 for being on the hill.
And then he's going to be just outside of 15 for long range as well.
Yeah.
So they're going to be -4 to hit.
It will just be down to the Fireball Thane, who will then have to have some sort of reform with his big blob to get into that. And he's also protecting himself from cannons, because cannons, you can't bounce through the hill. I think those wizards are not going to move for the rest of the game.
No, probably not. I mean,
they're going to sit and zap, and force Aaron to do something.
Just too hard to deal with, right? So we have a question about beams. So
Yes.
basically, beams are spells. So they're not magic missiles. They're kind of like, I mean,
In between. So
yeah.
they are a magic missile. So a beam spell will typically be one of 3 spells, I believe, in the game. You've got Burning Gaze for the Bretonian signature spell. You've got the Primal Herd version, which is on the Law of Primal Magic, and also Gaze of Gork from the Orc and Goblin book. Now, a beam spell is a magic missile where you draw a line of a variable distance depending on the spell. So Gaze of Gork in this example is 5d6 long, and anything that falls under that line will take a hit. So it's a magic missile, but unlike Fireball, where you roll 2d6 to find out who's hit, in a beam spell, you roll 5d6 for Gaze of Gork. Anything that is under that line will be hit automatically.
Yeah, and the interesting one as well, it's not limited to like how cannons are, that you can only hit one in each rank that you're going through. You can hit every single model that line goes over, which is just slightly horrendous.
And it's a big thank you to, I believe, Fanny from the German Comfac delegation for Worlds, who did teach me a really good trick. If you are shooting into a ranked up unit, you can just add how many ranks you have and how many files you are together and -1, and mathematically that will tell you the optimal beam line. I had no idea you could math that, but it turns out there's a very quick way of doing it in games. You just take how many ranks, how many files, -1, and then you're good.
So a quick off-topic one, talking about the you know what, I don't know, like,
oh, we're doom divering.
oh, what's going on? What's happened?
We are firing a doom diver.
And no, they definitely can't handle fire magic. Oh, what's happened?
They're firing doom divers at the moment. He's aiming at the cannons.
Oh, he's just kind of scattered back slightly, so he's scattered 4 inches onto the dwarves. He's just going to roll his
5 or a 6 here.
Just going to roll his D3 black. Right, he's only got one.
It's just a partial at the moment.
Yeah, so 1 partial on the cannon, then 1 partial on the thunder.
This is one of the disadvantages of the mobile cannons, though. Going down to T5 means these partials are quite scary. They're still wounding on 5s, so. Well, we've got Doom Divers going. I think we're going to start seeing some magic going as well soon.
Yeah. So all of the wizards are currently on top of the hill, so he's going to start slapping him with orcs currently.
Now, what happens here is this could start to get spicy. Turn 3 and 4.
And Andy, before you do each spell, can you let us know which one you're doing?
Oh, sorry, yeah.
No, it's cool. Right.
So what could happen?
Right. Cool. So Wind Blast from the general is going to go into the cannon.
If the dwarfs on Andy's right die, which they can very much do in a turn or two, that will let him then move that unit of orcs down into the flank of the orcs there and force flanks where you either get fanatics into that unit or you get beams all the way down it, and you can't protect it. That unit has to survive.
Yeah. It is, they are T6. Dave misspoke. It's fine.
Is it T6 when they
started T7?
Ah, cheating cannons. If they were T5, that'd be cool. Gotta have something bad about dwarfs. He's so overpowered. Shocking.
The gentleman's army, mate. That's what it is.
Nothing gentle about you after last night.
Oh, that cannon is so close to the edge of the board.
There's a wind blasty coming. There is a wind blast.
All right, so the wind blast. Right, the wind blast has been stopped with the magical resistance. He only rolled a 5, did not get it off.
I mean, failing to get wind blast through the reroll as well from the level 4 is pretty rough.
Yeah, that has potentially saved Aaron quite a bit.
Because you need a 5 on 2 dice. Well, 6 with a reroll.
Yeah.
Magic resist saving him for now.
Right. Oh, it's gone.
It's gone. We have lost a cannon. So it begins. Always the risk of positioning with Wind Blast. The problem is for Aaron here is he could have it 6 inches away from the edge of the board and he's got 3 Wind Blasts. He still pushes it. So big sort of early turns here for Aaron to have to come back from. Andy's positioned. He's got himself on the objectives. He's exactly where he wants to be. This game is now going to come down to that gunfight. Can he pop that unit of orcs? They're toughness 4. They've probably got ramparts on them at the moment. That's why he's got aggressive.
Yeah.
It's going to start getting a little bit rough, especially if that unit of dwarfs starts crumbling away. And
I mean, hopefully it doesn't, though, right?
Hopefully it doesn't.
Yeah.
I would disagree. Get out of our house. That is our cave.
We're reclaiming our holds.
That is our cave. We're going to have it back. We've done some lovely feng shui in the place. There's mushrooms everywhere. It's lovely.
Always.
So we're starting the beaming. He's going for the cannon as well in the hit. So he's going to be looking at 4 dwarfs and a cannon. More than likely if these beams start going off.
Yeah. So the beam's going through. Oh, he's probably...
What I've not told Andy in this game is the cruelest of trick with the beams is I don't think the first one gets there, but it does go off.
No, he's managed to get 2 dwarfs.
2 dwarfs down.
Yeah. So he's got a 6 up ward from Grugni. Thank you so much, mate. Really, really appreciate it. We'll hopefully try and have a good one and hopefully share some really fun games as well. We're going to try and stay away from the kind of boring, grindy games. And just kind of bring some fun ones.
It's a good one that we've just so happened. This was by chance. We didn't even ask Scott or the Forgotten North boys. There's no grudging. We said we would put beams up when we did the video on it. And it just so happens to be into dwarfs as well. So it turned out perfectly.
For sure. But so you can, if you are running different wizards. So different wizards can cast the same spells. Just not from the same one. Just not from the same one.
So you're going to start seeing that unit of dwarfs fall as he puts more magic missiles into him, and that is going to be the key. I like how he's just turned that unit of goblins to cut off those gyrocopters because they've vanguarded this turn. At the first turn, they can't charge in the first turn. They'll then basically be flapping. They'll get their shots without cover because they'll be shooting into the flank, but they ain't chinning 30 goblins early in the game, especially because he has got Glittering Robe up as well at the moment. So
yeah. So the most interesting, I mean, I don't know, to be fair, I think it would have been quite good to get Charlie on stream with the Recafin, but he's unfortunately had to drop, so he's not going to be playing. So there's no Charlie this weekend.
It's a Charlie list as you can get as well.
Yeah,
it's very robust.
Yeah,
so it will 20-0 or get 20-0.
Yeah, and it's a really quick 20-0 as well. So I played him with Combat Dwarfs the other day, and he tabled me before I got turn 2. So yeah, it's pretty good.
I beamed him.
Yeah, well, it's the thing. Like, if I went X-Force into him, like, he can't touch me.
Yeah.
So he can't touch me. But into combat armies, like, it's just horrendous. Like,
it is, yeah. And people like combat armies as well. It was really well positioned. I thought Charlie was going to win this weekend. We do have an interesting situation now that there will be a 4th winner of Forgotten North. There is nobody. It is the curse of Forgotten North. Nobody has been able to retain their title or win it twice.
Yeah,
we've had 3 separate winners so far, and we are guaranteed a 4th this weekend.
Yeah, we are. I mean, I think an interesting. Oh, that's Angry Amy is commenting on from from back at home. Hey, right, how's it going? Hope you're well. So an interesting one that we potentially got a cool list, which we might be showing, is Tom Carley's later on. Yeah. He is brought Cathay
with no
shugs, and it's a full peasant army with Mao Ying.
The problem is, once you get that game up and he starts doing well, and people start to realize that it's the Cathay cannons that are the problem, not the shugs. The shugs are undercosted. The cannons are ridiculous. To be able to shoot twice and just alpha strike everything off the board, that's why I hate cannons, is Cathay. At least if you're playing Empire with 3 cannons, you've got 3 lookout sirs to make. Cathay, turn 1 with your general, you've got 6, and you're going to statistically fail 1. It's awful. Hate them. Put them in the bin. Mark, no, they're not using Renegades this weekend. Forgotten North tends to focus a little bit more from the book and rules as written as a tournament. But there are a number of events that do run Renegades in the UK, typically down Nottingham Way and down the south more so, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, there's quite a few in the UK that have started running them now. There was quite a few. I'm interested to see how all of the events go with the Renegades Point 2, see how all of those go. I know that Val did a couple of little changes to the Ogre Kingdoms the other day, and the Chaos Dwarves are imminent now as well, which is
I was
pretty cool.
watching the stream last night, so be interested to see how the changes come. And, you know, if that's your thing, if you're wanting to play Renegade, get stuck in and play some games. It's a fun game. No need for the internet arguments that are going on these days about it.
Yeah,
Just play what they want to play.
This is the thing. Like, everyone just play the games that you want to play. Just don't gatekeep anyone. Just have fun. Just literally, we're here for fun. Like, right. So
we have moved on to the dwarf turn. So it'll be interesting to see how Aaron counters this, because there is there is 4 Fanatics being released.
Oh, they're coming.
They're coming for the Gyros.
Have some gift memberships, everyone. Have some gift memberships.
It's a nice one to see other people playing Orcs and Goblins. I would probably, because he can't charge, not release more than 2 this turn. The problem you have is you kill one of those gyrocopters, you've then got a massive roll to hit the other 2.
Yeah.
So if Aaron's switched on, he will just take away the closest one. So it's a 6 hits, though. The 6 hits, I think one of them is looking poorly.
5 wounds.
5 wounds. That's exactly what I was saying. It depends on which one Aaron now takes. He's took the closest one, which now makes those rear Fanatics not as good. You need a big roll to get them. So it'll be interesting to see what Aaron does. Andy does, but it's down to the dice now, and I just don't like that. It's a waste of resources. Like 2, sure, to stop him running away with them, but has he got it?
Nope.
No.
Hasn't managed to get that. He's going to need a big roll on his back.
He is
100%.
5.
4. Yeah, so he hasn't managed to get that, unfortunately. Well, unfortunately for the Goblins, fortunately for the Gyrocopters, that means that unit is back in the game.
I would also be looking at that last Fanatic where you're like, you're never going to reach it. Fling it in front of you. Actually, it's fling out north. They don't give cover. What am I talking about?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
A different game system all over the place now.
I find it quite interesting that he wanted to spunk 4 Fanatics to deal with that many gyrocopters. I didn't think that they would cause that much of an issue.
The Fanatics are going to... That's what the Fanatics are for this game. That's all they're really going to do is try to kill those gyrocopters, because of that sort of impassable in the middle, he's not really going to get much more aggressive than where he is. The gyrocopters are the easy target for them, but 4 in that situation, he can't charge. Okay, so you're not threatened. Don't release them.
Yep.
If you get a good roll, you take away the closest model, you're then not going to hit with the rest. It was a big spend. I mean, he still does have another 7, so it's not like he's got none left. But I would probably be looking at 2 max in that scenario. If it was me, you've got 6 turns. Got plenty of time to get them.
Yeah, like I probably would have been looking more to kind of spin the unit around on a nice little reform and then get a line coming down the flank of the entrench unit, which would have potentially...
He's going to struggle to reform there, unless he gets a travel mystical as well, because of the impassable.
Yeah. So there was one of the Fanatics was from the unit behind, because they pop out within 3 inches of the unit. So if you can see the second unit that's by the rocks, then they kind of jump out as well.
So there's 3 units with 3 in it and 1 unit with 2 in.
Yeah. So they come with the 3 and 2s.
So you can have 1 for every 10 goblins in a unit, and you have to pay for them. So they are 25 points. They aren't cheap. A lot of people do raise that Fanatics are powerful, and yes, they are powerful. However, you are paying for them. So 3 Fanatics is 75 points. They're almost as expensive as the unit of goblins that they're in. And that is something that is quite easy to take those points off the unit once they're gone. So there is a risk element to them as well. And you can pay 75 points for them, and they'll roll doubles and die. That's my trick.
It is. It is. We missed a comment from Mo earlier, by the way. Hey, Mo. How's it going? Thank you very much. Made me some banana bread. Thank you.
The gluten-free for you.
I know, yeah, exactly. We've also had a comment from Morpheus. How's it going, buddy? I hope you're okay. So, honestly, the pick for the win, I'm not sure. There's some amazing players here and some really, really strong armies.
There's Alex with a really strong army.
Yeah. So, it's Alex's birthday today, and he's running the double blobbing. So, he is running...
Team England, team manager. It's his first GT in Old World.
Yeah, his first ever GT. He's normally behind the scenes doing all of the paperwork and running around helping us all out.
And he is sneakily my favourite to win the entire event through no question of his player ability.
Just because Charlie's gone.
Charlie's gone.
Yeah.
Now, if Charlie was here, he would not win. Just because the Tomb Guard brick blows everything up.
Yeah, exactly. Although I really want us to stream one of Robin Gillies' games later on. So he's an X-Force player that's been doing amazingly in England, and I potentially think he could do really well at this event. Actually, he's been getting podiums constantly.
Well, if you
that's my top pick.
Interesting to see the lists that have come this weekend. That people seem to be getting bored of the more better lists. So I think there's just one Diabolical Frenchman with the Gore Star.
Oh, yeah, Nicky.
There is one double blob, which again isn't a sort of player that has been consistently at tournaments. There's a lot more dragons, etc. this weekend.
Yeah.
So it looks like people are having a little bit more fun with Old World at the moment.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of a kind of a rebellion against the the normal lists. Everyone seems to be bringing some more fun stuff, which is pretty awesome. Thank you so much, Scott. Thank you.
Better service.
Well, it's not beer, but it's right. We're not drinking, mate. It's all good. Cheers, bro. Cheers.
I think Pash could do well.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I think he's got a weaker list than Steve, and I would have said Jack Ward had a good chance, but he is not a healthy boy today.
No, he was out on the drink until about 5 o'clock this morning, 5:30, so he's definitely not in a chance, I don't think. Although he could potentially pull it round.
He's playing Cathay, so there's a chance.
Yeah, maybe. So are the rounds 2.5 hours or 3 hours?
2.5 hours.
2.5.
2 hours 45 minutes, I believe, just to split the difference for us.
So if I was you, I'd play Wolves of the Sea. I would try and take as many giant spawn as possible. And if you like dragons, play dragons. If you don't like dragons, go giant spawns and then everything skirmish.
I like the wizard, the night bus, to be fair.
And another thing that I really like as well is I really like the scouting demon prince as well with the Sword of Sorrow.
To us, there was like when we were doing the list, the new item reveal, I was like, you can do a scouting demon prince. And then everybody laughed at me, and then France took it to Six Nations. I was like, let's put it into the right lists. It can be really annoying, or you can just put a combat monster of a demon prince into 12 inches of the enemy line.
Yeah, 100%. It's all right because I am pushing for Ren Dwarves so that we can take those items. It's going to happen soon, everybody. If you're running tournaments, remember Ren Dwarfs. Let us use those as master runes. We're currently working on that in the background.
So we are seeing shooting going into the orcs. Doesn't seem to be doing a huge amount right now.
Yeah.
Big orcs hiding behind a hill.
So the skirmishers are basically hiding over half the unit behind the hill to make it -4. Well, only -3 now because they've moved forward. So it's -3 to shoot at them. So it's -2 for the hard cover because over half of them are obscured. -1 for skirmisher, and then earlier it was range, but he's moved up closer so we can actually get them now, which is still pretty rough because it's hitting on 6s because Burlock is currently in the Thunderers.
The issue he has is as soon as he starts taking casualties from these is just to
so
backwards.
The cannon has managed to do a nice little line going through to try and kill some goblins. Oh, he's killed a couple. Right, he's killed a couple of goblins.
There's 3 goblins down. I think he was going for the BSB.
Yeah, he's passed his lookout. One of the really annoying things that Andy's done here is by putting all of his characters onto the hill, he'll stop the crunch of a cannonball. So it means that Aaron can't use the cannons to try and pick off the orc heroes unless he tries to do basically a direct shot that's going to be hitting on a 2 probably. And it just makes it really, really annoying to try and deal with it. Unless Andy gives him like a really good line where he could potentially hit one on like a 2 and a 4 and on a 6, he's just never going to be able to deal with them, which is really, really annoying.
So yeah, we're at the shooting phase. It doesn't seem like much is happening. There's a panic check.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. That's really cool.
No, it's that rampart's going off. It is.
Right, so
level 6 on the rampart.
Yeah,
so.
It's an irresistible force, so it's going to be even more annoying to try and deal with now. Not that it wasn't before anyway.
Yeah. I like that. A scouting Plague of Rust Sorcerer Prophet into a Chaos Dwarf gun line.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
It's like turn 1 Plague of Rust. I was actually looking at doing something very similar with a scouting skink to let your slan Plague of Rust things turn 1 and then throw a billion javelins at something. I think Scout's a really powerful ability, and you're going to do it with your skinks anyway. You might as well double down.
No, I still think Brett's are really, really good. I think in the right matchup, they're amazing. They do have a couple of natural born predators.
One of them is on stream.
Yeah.
2 of them is on stream.
Yeah, but if they can avoid those, then you're absolutely fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I think Brett's can still absolutely smash it. You've just got to get a really nice run.
I think James Ramsey's definitely got...
What are you doing here?
Sneaky,
you should be playing your game.
Sneaky chance of actually taking the event now. It doesn't like... That list doesn't like playing into the Rakaf, but Charlie not showing up has actually really opened things up. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one to see how the tournament progresses over the next 2 days.
I just really like the fact that there's loads of lists here that you wouldn't normally see, actually.
Definitely.
Good.
It's a lot more friendly. Obviously, Nick has gone as net list as he can, as usual, but
he is
a lot of innovation. You cannot trust the French, can you? Cannot trust the French. So we're looking into movement, I think, here. There's a couple of things I'm not going to say until the movement phase is over, because I don't want Andy to hear me about what I would be looking to do in this situation. But Aaron is threatening the goblins.
Yeah, there are gyrocopters. So if you look at the top right-hand corner of the screen, there are 2 gyrocopters there, which right on the edge of the board that are coming round to try and get into those Doom Divers. So he's threatening the back edge. So Andy is going to have to think about what he's doing. Although he is currently...
I don't think he will have to think about what he's doing, to be fair. He's got several turns of Fanatics where he can just say, charge me if you want. But Aaron's going to have to sit and wait for them to come.
There is actually Ogre Kingdoms here this weekend. They are here.
They are always here. There's always Ogre Kingdoms.
Yeah, to be fair.
Those lists, that's close. Like people talk about Renegades and not being able to compete. But
the legacy.
The legacy books, yeah. That actually, Lizardmen aren't far away. The Chaos Dwarfs compete. And then also Ogre Kingdoms are also pretty good. I mean, Demons are down in the doldrums. I'll give you that one. Vampires are obviously winning tournaments. There's a lot of lists, I think, that are worse.
I think if Demons and Dwarves had access to the new common magic items, I feel that would boost them both up, which would be quite nice. Got
the permanent 5 and board save from before. That's largely all they need. I mean, they're overcosted.
Yeah.
As a lot of the legacy books are. I mean, Lizardmen are wildly overcosted for what they do, but you can still put a reasonable list on the table with it. Like, I'll beat you with Lizardmen.
Yeah.
Like, Skinks are incredible.
Yeah, like Skink Spam, when you're playing into slow-moving combat blocks, like, there's just nothing you can do. They just zip around you, get out of your arc. Especially if you're playing, like, Strat 4, you literally just can't catch up.
Yeah, I love Skinks. And then you can put, I think, what do we have? 6 T6 models on the board?
Yeah.
2, 3, 5, I think, T6 models. So they're okay. They just, I think with dragons getting worse in the meta, there is more play for Lizardman. Again, similar to this list with the beams, this doesn't do great into dragon lists, so it'll be interesting to see how it does later. So yeah, let's see how it goes.
Right, so I'm just having a look through the roster to have a look at some hunts. We've also got a couple of Renegade Crowns lists.
We do. I wrote one of these as well for Owen.
I love the 2 Wandering Dystros as well. So he's got 2. Is it Initiative 8 or Weapon Skill 8?
Yeah. So that is the Wandering Diestro, but the one has got the Bedazzling Helm for -1 to hit. There is a
Weapon Skill 8, yeah.
So Weapon Skill 8, you've got -1 to hit from the Bedazzling, -1 to hit from Glittering Robe, and then he can do the Diestro to reroll hits on him as well. So you can go into a challenge and just be like, hit me on 6s, and be the true Matrix as he's sort of dodging Ogre Blade attacks left, right, and center. And if they are successful, he's like, just reroll that for me, please, mate.
So, for everybody attention out there are actually 2 Ogre Kingdoms players here this weekend. Sorry, should we try and get one of them on stream?
Yeah, we'll go.
Yeah, we'll get one on stream for everyone.
Whoever wins the game, let's have a Renegade Crown in a Renegade Crown match-off. Because we've got Owen with his greatsword block that he's dreamed of forever.
Yeah. So Owen, who's on our team, he's got this massive greatsword block with 7 characters in the front rank, which is just hilarious. He was like, "Oh, do I have to be 14 wide?" Yes.
Yeah, you do. Technically, no. You can be 10 wide, but then you can because too many characters only exist in combat. So you can have 10 characters in, and once you engage in combat, all the characters that you want to protect ping up to the back. So it's what this list was really good. The Beans list, you could protect the characters that you wanted to protect through the too many characters rule, which it basically gives you pseudo Skaven.
No, it's fine. It's fine. We'll get him to post it into the Dawi After Dark Discord, then you can have a look. It was quite good.
I'll have to dig it. It's took well.
It did quite well. You managed to get a couple of wins out of that.
Yeah. Mainly into dwarfs, so it's not too much to ask. I think
that was dwarf combat as well, to be fair.
It was. I think legacy-wise, the legacy lists can go 3 and 2 at an event. They're not going to win the event, but then there is a whole hog of lists out there that will not win an event. So Wood Elves are in the same spot. There's a lot of lists that aren't quite at that point, which is where I get a little bit skeptical about the Renegades project, because Val's great guy, really nice guy.
I think
what about the dwarfs?
Yeah,
they need touching. What about Wood Elves and High Elves?
I think if we get into a point where Games Workshop do help the weaker factions, obviously the newer Renegades 0.2 have amped these up to be really, really good, like the Dark Elves, and like Skaven and stuff. Like, they are now in a position where they could potentially win events, like big events as well, and do really, really good. And Ogres as well are very, very good. So it'd be just quite nice if we could then amp up the weaker factions from Games Workshop, or if not, potentially doing that as community driven. If anybody didn't see my video the other day, where I just want to help the dwarves out. I mean, elves need it too, unfortunately. The knifers do need a bit of help.
The elves are in a sad state at the moment, and I'd just like to see more viable builds coming out of them. It's similar, like Orcs and Goblins are in a reasonably good spot. I think they are sort of maybe a 4-1 army at a push. You really have to play your socks off to win an event with them, or basically come up with a ridiculously overpowered Death Star the week after Chaos got their journal and everybody wanted to play with dragons, which is what I did. But yeah, there's a lot of lists out there, and I think we would like to see a little bit more variation in what's there at the top.
Stone. There they are. I mean, hopefully Aaron's going to be able to hang on in this game.
I think
fingers crossed.
You're going to see a lot more pressure going into that unit. He has moved forward. He's finished his movement phase. So I would actually be looking at that unit that's moved forwards. You can get similar movement out of a reform from that unit and just go wider and just go in and touch them. But he is going to drop some more Fanatics. And it looks like if he does his Doom Divers last year, actually, you could just see what's left this stage. He's never going to break the Thunder Star, but he's happy to just sit there in the objectives, and he's going to force...
The Doom Diver is going for the cannon. He's managed to get a misfire on that, unfortunately. What happens?
Fine. Can't shoot next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, so that Doom Diver is
There's
out of action next turn as well. So that's quite nice. It's good for Aaron. Not so much, not very good for Andy, though.
Yeah.
Then the second Doom Diver. Oh, it's misfired again. Misfired
again. 6 is...
Yeah.
I think 5 might be as well. I've not looked in ages.
Linehammer is back, but for completely different reasons. So Linehammer used to be used to try and get as many attacks as possible. Now Linehammer is being used for shooting armies to get as many shots as they possibly can, and also for other
non-shooting armies to create cover.
Yeah, non-shooting armies to hide behind stuff. So you can be able to get like -1, -2 if you're hidden behind like a hill or something. Or even if you are in a big line and you're walking over a hill and the shooting unit is at a slight angle, because they can't see the entire front of your unit, that would create cover just from being across the hill, which is quite an interesting one, really. But yeah, like it's only specific armies that are going to be using this. I mean, there is quite a lot being going on, so they are kind of shooting at each other. There's a lot of beams going off, and also people have fun in different ways, right? Like, I don't personally think throwing a dragon into a unit is fun and engaging for me because I can't have dragons, but that's how everybody else has fun, right? So
I think fun and engaging is always a conversation around, well, it's how are you going to solve the puzzle of this game?
Yeah.
Because you could say, well, the X-Force isn't fun and engaging because you just entrench and then you just shoot and you're playing one side of the game and that's it. But we're in a situation here where the Orc and Goblin player is responding to the challenge that's in front of him. That he's no way of breaking that block. He's a magic shooting list. The Dwarf player knows that if he goes into blocks, he's not going to have enough output to shoot off all these goblins. So they are working with and dealing with the options that they have to actually play this game. So it's a challenge. Like I've said in the last video that we had, it's like these lists aren't things that you want to take to table Warhammer. Yep. You know, this is a GT. People are trying to do well, and they are trying to give the best chance for themselves to actually do well in this tournament effectively. So I need to take a quick break.
Yeah, no worries, man.
Too.
Hey, morning, mate. How's it going? You okay? Right. So I believe the goblins have actually got, I believe their hand weapon and shield on the goblins just to make them better in combat. So they won't be there shooting. They are just there to kind of like soak up as much damage as possible. So in this, they are just little combat bricks just to go onto objective and basically just to hold those fanatics. Which has kind of been like an interesting change because before you would try and load them up with poison, get as many shots as possible. Whereas nowadays, everyone seems to be going a lot more into the combat focused versions of the goblins, which is pretty cool. And yeah, no, I completely agree, Rich. Like there's loads of different ways that people are kind of working out how to overcome problems when they're coming up in the meta and see what like you can do about stuff. So if dragons come out and they get really, really good, then you try and find out ways to be able to deal with toughness 6, and then suddenly you get like these Death Stars, you get big shooting Death Stars, then you've got to work out ways to be able to deal with these, then you get the beams list that come up to be able to smash through them. And it's quite interesting. Yeah, no, 100%. There definitely will be some square blocks coming. This is just one of the matchups. This one was always going to be like this because X-Force always uses like lines with trying to get as many shots out as possible. And also this Goblins list is a very very different Orcs and Goblins list than most of them out there, but there will be a lot of rank and flank square battles being shown off later. Like I said before, we're going to be trying to show off a lot of the fun ones. So we did a video about this list the other day, so we really wanted to show off what it can do. And we are definitely going to be showing off stuff like the Ogre Kingdoms, want to get them on. There's a really fun Renegade Crowns list that we want to show as well. And just a lot of other fun ones. How is everybody doing this morning, by the way? My co-host has decided to disappear, which is kind of annoying because I just suddenly now need a pee, which is really handy. But oh well. So how is everybody doing this fine morning or afternoon or nighttime, wherever you are in the world? I hope you're all doing really well. We are going into the turn 3 now, I believe. Andy, what part are you on? You in turn 3?
Yes.
Yeah, just like top of 3. Yeah. So it's the top of 3. The goblins are moving up to try and screen the gyrocopters, I believe, with the fanatics coming out. So if he charges into those unit and night goblins, he would have to charge through the fanatics, and then the fanatics would be able to jump back through the gyrocopters.
So what he's done here again?
Oh, I need a pee now.
This is
I'll be back.
We're back. We disappeared and we're back. So as a newer Orc and Goblin player, as advice, if you are playing Orc and Goblins, look at the size of the base that's charging you as well. So if the gyrocopters do charge those goblins, then they will effectively fly over the top of them, and then Andy could double out. So if you roll a double on their movement, they do die. So it could result in him getting no hits. If he goes a little bit back, so that they would clip the bases of the gyrocopters when they come in, you could get double hits. So you can actually release one Fanatic in this situation and get a better situation. But the Fanatics have done nothing by the looks of things. One of them has died in exactly that situation, so it's nice of him to prove me right in there. So he's not charged. So he has prevented the charge again. I think, once again, he's been potentially too liberal with his use of the Fanatics. He could have released one there and got the same effect of preventing that charge, but he's gone for 2. That does mean that they've got none left there. He's going to have to use another unit to deal with those gyrocopters, which are the easy points for him to score. So I'm going to try and answer the things. So the music theory wizard, there are no goblin archers, so they've all got hand weapon and shields. So they're just looking to be as cheap as possible. We've got a Richie back. He can start showing comments again as they come up, because I've not got the tech.
Oh, okay. So the spreader list is actually super varied at this event. There's some really, really cool ones. Like we said before, there's Ogre Kingdoms, there's Orcs and Goblin. Well, I'm just going to go through them, actually. I'll just kind of let everybody know. So we've got Expeditionary Forks, Orcs and Goblins, Ogre Kingdoms, Wild Herd, Cathay, Warriors of Chaos, Emperor of Man, Renegade Crowns, Cathay, High Elves. We've got Tomb Kings. We've got Royal Clans. There's a double anvil list, which is pretty cool.
We do have a Skaven, technically.
Oh, we technically got a Skaven.
We've technically got a Skaven.
Yeah.
Because Jack Ward has done an all Skaven Cathay.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what state he's in currently. There are Chaos Dwarves here as well.
There are
Jade Fleet. Boo. There is a Vampire Counts. There's also the Wood Elves. Creation Warhost, Errantry Crusade, Orion's Wild Hunt is here as well.
In charge.
Wolves of the Sea.
In charge.
What else have we got? Do we have any other different ones?
Yeah.
We do have a Demons of Chaos list here as well.
So you would charge.
Dark Elves. Yeah. So we've got Dark Elves. Amy's here with a Nomadic Wire as well. Yeah. So we've got a pretty wild spread actually.
Yeah.
No, I know. No chamber pot. So unfortunately, we are going to have to get up and go for a pee, which is a bit annoying. I don't know. Is it worth streaming a high elf army?
It's always worth seeing an elf die.
It is.
And watching an elf having a bad time on the internet for 3 hours is probably worth everybody's time.
It is. It is.
I would be pro watching elves die.
All right, the gyros are coming in.
They weren't. So there was a little bit of an error there in the game, which one of the advantages of being on stream is sometimes people catch things for you. So Andy had moved his Fanatics and then the gyros charged. That was out of sequence. So charges happened first and then the Fanatics moved. So notes the error, just called it out to them, to be fair. Aaron's decided not to charge in that situation and he's flown over the top of them. And he is setting up a charge next turn if he wishes to do so.
Yeah. I mean, we are here to just kind of comment through the games. If there are any kind of like glaring mistakes, we will kind of try and help out with that. It's not the Masters this time, so it doesn't really matter.
It depends on the game as well. Obviously, Aaron's a good friend of myself. Andy is a Team England player. He won with us at Worlds last year. Unfortunately, he can't go to Worlds this year due to some sort of accounting nonsense that he's up to, but still a very valued member of the team, so they're a lot more okay with us to get involved if there's any sort of obvious errors that we see.
Yeah. So, I mean, there is potential, like we don't know. This is only...
Dwarves are here, and that is a win enough.
Yeah, exactly. The Dwarves are here.
That is a win enough.
Like I said before, we've got some really, really good Dwarf players here. Like Robin's been doing absolutely amazing and smashing events, so there is potential for a podium, 100%. And this is only game one, so any army could win this. Even the Dark Elves could win this, even if it's a knife here, right? So honestly, with the different size bases, as long as you pick one of the size bases that's in the book that you can use either of them. Like, it's absolutely fine. The way that WTC has ruled it for the models with like round bases, you have to use a square base that is as similar size to the base as possible. So like on an Anvil of Doom, it is a 60 by 60. And then I think the casket is a 110.
It's 100 by 100.
Is it 100 by 100?
And it's better to have it. It stops debates.
Yeah.
Which you don't expect. Like when we went Worlds, there was none of that. It was really, really straightforward. But what it does stop is we have seen it in the past where people have tried to bring a Dreadquake mortar on a 25mm base because there is no specified base size, and you're just like, how it? To be a little bit Geordie for now, just how it? Behave yourself.
Yeah, I know. That guy's a winner.
It is.
Absolute winner.
Because he's got 2 anvils, he's happier than the rest of us.
A hairy pair of testicles for bringing that list.
It's
as
some
well.
chunky testes going on there. But yeah, so we're looking at the Dwarfs going probably into the shooting phase. I don't think they've got a lot to shoot at.
No, so the Gunthane has just joined back into the unit of the Thunderers to try and get a little bit of cover because he was getting blasted. He's ended up taking a couple of wounds, which is never good. Just because he wasn't within 3 inches at the front of Thunderers for some reason, I'm not sure why. So he's just rejoined back in.
I mean, they'll be closer anyway, where those all so.
Yeah, he would have been have to be like offset a little bit. So I'm not sure why he's not doing like reforms every single turn to try and like kick the unit up and get onto that objective. Probably just to stay out of Fanatics, although the front unit's lost to its Fanatics anyway. Yeah. So I don't know.
There's 1 left in the front 2 units have got 1 left. And the one that's next to that wood's got 3 left.
But you can definitely absorb, I would probably say all of that, actually.
Yeah, because of this is where we were talking earlier. With the release of 4 to try to kill those gyrocopters in less than optimal positioning.
Yeah.
Because if the first one dies, then you need mega rolls to get it. It does mean that the Dwarfs can now get more aggressive. So I would be starting to push those. And there's 2 Fanatics that are really going to impact things. You don't have to charge. I would be pushing up to contest the objectives, push up to contest the strategic location in the center for the end of the game.
So there is actually a reason for why he's using different colored dice. So he did have some black dice that he was using yesterday, and they rolled so bad that he burned them. Aaron, did you burn your dice yesterday, by the way? Your black ones. So that's why he's using a load of random other ones. They rolled so bad, it was hilarious.
The land of the Prince Bishops, our own Prince Harry, not happy with underperforming dice.
It was just so funny. Although, to be perfectly honest, they were a little bit cursed. I tried rolling them and I rolled like...
Well, it's going to teach us nothing if you roll them.
No.
It's like you get loaded dice and still roll ones.
I know, it is pretty bad. Like, for everybody out there, like, I hope you can roll well and are blessed, because Valaya has abandoned me in my dice rolling for sure. So the cannons are lining up some shots now. It's going to be, I don't know what.
What they're going for.
I don't know what he's trying to get there. He needs to try and start popping those Orc Wizards.
Yeah.
If he can get a line where he can hit one on a 2 and another one on a 4 and potentially another one on a 6, because it does look a little bit like Andy has given him a nice little line there. So he could potentially try and at least...
It's the challenges of getting it over the hill, because all the characters are on the hill, so you've got to guess the number.
Yeah.
Starting point.
But what you can do is if you have one, it's 2. one at 4 and one at 6. You can
But that would have to push it forward into places I don't think that wants to go to get those sort of lines. I was at the stage now. He's got to push that central unit forwards. He's going to try and hunt the Doom Divers. I can see a reform coming from the unit of Night Goblins with the BSB in it, just to put more Fanatics through those gyros. They have dodged them quite well so far. And yeah, the Orcs are just going to keep shooting that unit of Dwarfs.
Yeah, I mean, he's never going to be able to get the points from the Thunderers, so he's just going to try and take out the Rangers.
I mean, if that unit of Orcs, the unit of Dwarfs, the smaller one, dies, then if this wasn't the beam ruling at Forgotten North, then he could delete that unit by getting into its flank. Like, hits down the entire thing will chew them to bits, but...
Well, I mean, that unit of 20 Rangers is 318 points. Now, there's a Sapper in that unit as well.
Yeah.
And also a Runesmith. Now, if he manages to kill that unit, that's a potential 500-point swing.
Yeah.
And don't forget as well that Andy has been scoring on 2 of the objectives now, because the front unit is going to be scoring the left-hand objective that you guys can see there, and then the secondary unit is going to be scoring the right-hand objective. So it was 30 in turn 1, and then it has been 60 each of the rounds since then. So that's going to be massing up now as well. So if you can get that 500-point swing, that's going to be massive. So
Andy has decided to release Fanatics in his own turn. Again, something that I would be looking here to actually reform that unit of goblins to push them back towards the forest to get them close, so that you're not rolling to needing to roll big to get them. Because as soon as that first one dies, then it's much harder to hit. So you can move closer. You can release them in your own turn. You don't have to rush it. But I think the pressure from those spirals. It is Rampart's up.
Is that Rampart?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, yeah. So he's managed to get Ramparts onto the Orcs, but he failed Ramparts onto the smaller unit of Goblins.
So we are now in a position of seeing how much Andy's going to push now. He's got the board control, which is what this list wants to do. It's just going to sit on those objectives. If those Fanatics clear up those gyrocopters, then it's going to get real rough for Aaron. But they've not done great so far, and this is the risk of Fanatics. Sometimes they do great, sometimes they do not.
Yeah, no, it is.
He's only hit with one of them so far.
Yeah, and I completely agree. Like, it's so many points. Like, I think it was... Oh. Fanatics died.
That is a double. All of them have doubled out. And this is exactly what I was saying earlier. Exactly what I was saying earlier. Fanatics are great. They are very brother. However, they are not a guarantee of anything. That's 75 points gone of output. The gyros live, and now they can start hunting the Doom Divers.
I know this is a potential little comeback. The thing is as well, so they're going to be within 12 that first Doom Diver, which means it's not going to be able to shoot at them as well. Potentially, the back one is outside of 12.
The front one can't shoot anyway because it misfired last turn. So you will have one shot from the Doom Diver. What I think it would be a case of is if he's out of range of the second one, he could just flee from that charge, though. So,
yeah, definitely. Although I think the angle that he's fleeing straight off the board anyway.
Yeah, he'd have that.
Yeah.
Take away the pressure.
I might try and adjust the screen slightly so you can see that back edge a little bit better, everybody. Just give me 2 seconds. Hopefully we don't just die and everything disappears. Oh, no, it's the actual camera. Okay, right. I can't get any more. Sorry, guys. But yeah, so the Doom Divers at the back of the board, they are particularly in danger. They are in danger.
And also that baggage train. Baggage train could go to them as well in the a turn later. So that is really unfortunate, and it's why I like to push to release them in your own turn. Andy's took a risk to try and deal with it. All 3 have doubled out, and now he's flapping. I think if he'd reformed and released them in his own turn, he can prevent the charge for another turn. And then if it doubles out, you don't care because you've stopped the charge that turn.
Yeah,
and you've got another turn to deal with them.
I mean, there's actually nothing that he can do to stop Aaron from stealing that baggage train either.
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing to
It's
do.
Aaron's choice now what he does.
Yeah, so I mean,
he can. So that unit, it's Andy's movement phase. He can turn, reform that unit of goblins, or TMP them so that they're in a position to charge if he goes into the baggage train. Because if they're in combat, they can't take it without the impacts. I think
if that unit doesn't get TMP, there's nothing they can do about it. Because if Aaron choose now to go into the baggage train, which was within 12 of the Doom Divers, so they wouldn't be able to shoot him, there's no way that anything on that backboard can interact with them. And you wouldn't be able to, probably out of range of a lot of the wizards as well, actually. Yeah. So you could try and get out of the max range.
It's where I'd like to see Andy now use, because of the Scott North ruling of TMP, you can create a bubble around the skirmishers. It's to almost use the TMP now on the unit if he can get it off, wrap it around the back of the goblins to then create a big bubble around him, so that if he does push in the backfield with the gyros, he can then travel mystical pathways backwards, deal with the gyros, and go. So he can get a 2-turn, but he's going for the cover. Again, I think he could have shimmied both units to go across to create more cover.
And there's a potential big point swing coming here. Like if Aaron gets into the baggage train, kills the baggage train, then in the next turn charges the Doom Diver flees, goes into the other Doom Diver. That's a massive point swing.
It is big, but I think Andy's trying to offset that by just taking out that unit of dwarfs this turn. He's going big on it.
Right, he needs to now. Yeah. That's potentially on the back foot now that the Fanatics have all fluffed, which is quite an interesting one. Yeah, no, I do agree. Like the Fanatics always go big or go home. Like they either do absolutely loads or just absolutely nothing.
They do.
But
and it's why they're given this blanket statement of, they're overpowered, they're too strong. And, you're going to think that if you get a 666 on the hits. You're like, yeah, they're way too much. But there's also the opportunity that we've lost 2, 3, 4, 5 Fanatics worth of output. 6, 7, all of them. 8 Fanatics have done nothing in this game. So you're looking at 150, 200 points of the army has done nothing and is gone. Which is, you're at a 10% disadvantage straight away. So they are random. They can be pivotal. And but they can also do exactly what's just happened for Andy and just blow themselves up.
Yeah, and it's completely opened up the backfield. Yeah. For everybody watching at home, how do you like the new kind of streaming setup as well? Do you prefer this than what it was before? Do you prefer the top down? And I'm really sorry about the camera. Like I said before, this is a brand new camera. It is a brand new cable as well. I've got no idea why it keeps flashing. It's really annoying, but it did exactly the same at Masters, and I've got no idea why. But I'm not a tech guy. I don't like the Engineers Guild. A bit more of an iron breaker.
Well, I fixed it. You should be concerned. It's like, geez, I'm going to clue what's going on. I just show up and talk shite all day. So Andy's slowed down considerably. It shows you how much of a pain those gyrocopters are now. It is very much dealer's choice as to what they can start picking on and what they can start charging. They should be dead 3 times over, I'll be honest with you, but it's part of the comment that I had early on around Andy's deployment that I potentially would have liked to see the skirmishers go behind all of the goblins, just to give him a choice as to where he's going with them. When he deployed so heavily on his right, it just let those the gyrocopters, if he's unlucky, take over the game.
So funny you should say that about Stay. I was actually trying to convince Amy to let me dye my hair orange and have a mohawk for Worlds, but she was having absolutely none of it. So they are the guys playing are currently drinking right now. Actually, Aaron's just literally come back. He's brought a pint in. Do you want to show him your pint on the screen, mate? So he is currently drinking. It's
not officially a sober stream anymore.
Yeah, it's not a sober one anymore. But I might have a cheeky cider a little bit later on, maybe.
You can have one. It's the thing. I'm driving, so
I'm in solidarity with Dave. And also, I want to be able to actually talk through the games properly and not be a dribbling mess by the end of the day, which is normally how these things go.
You can see the downhill. Like, the first game's always pretty good. There's analysis, there's things happening. But then by game 2, it goes to nothing. So this is what I would want to see. So if this was me playing it, I would be looking at this reform before I release the Fanatics. You want to be preventing the charge. You want to be threatening. It is taking away the impact hits there, so it leaves the only viable charge into that Doom Diver. The Doom Divers will flee, and I would be looking at the giving up on the Dwarves. You're winning on objectives, so get those skirmishing orcs back to your backfield, take out the gyros. They're the easy points. You've got a cannon already. You can take the gyros. There is a lot of points in that unit of Dwarves, and there's not a great amount of them left. So you're just massively relying on killing that unit. And fundamentally, if the Master Rune of Calm goes off on the big on your push turn, then you get caught out. So I think safer play in this instance is to go for it. We'll be seeing what he does. Because I think he released all 3. So is he turning around or just screening? Because this could... yeah, interesting in terms of running away as well. Yeah, if there's a charge, if the gyros charge that middle unit, because they get the impacts, probably going to break it, static 3. Then it's
I mean, I was really unlucky not to win into Nicky's the other day, to be fair. Like, that's normally what I would say is a good combat for those 2 gyros. No, cheers. Thank you very much. That's definitely something that we can take into account for next time. I was having real bad camera issues last night. I did have an extra camera that I was going to be having on, but it just wasn't working with the cables. So I just bought some new cables, some expensive ones, and it just didn't work with the camera. So there would have actually been another camera setup because I wanted to swap in between the top down and then also one slightly angled down. So you can kind of get like a top view and a bit more of like a game view. So that will be in the next stream that we do.
Yeah.
This one, unfortunately, I just couldn't get it working last night. I had real bad issues. Like, I had to re-download all of the software for the cameras, and I just needed a few drinks to kind of get me through. And then by the time I'd had a few drinks, I definitely couldn't get it working then. So next time.
So by the looks of things, he's all in on that dwarf unit now. He's trying to scream a little bit. I just think the Doom Divers go. I would, for the risk you're taking, I wouldn't go for the baggage train.
Mm-hmm.
I would just go straight for the Doom Diver. The baggage train itself, it does take the risk that they're just going to TMP and then come and shoot one of the gyros. Dying stops you from being able to blow it up. It's an all-in play on not losing a gyrocopter. I think he just goes for the Doom Divers, or if he's wanting to get spicy, charging the unit of goblins in the middle.
Yeah, that works. That's you can force a really nice panic as well.
You're panicking everything. You're going to have generals, but it's on an 8 re-rolling, so it's not ideal, but
yeah. I mean, he's already done his bombing run, so he can't do that anymore. But I think that's a pretty tasty rear charge there if Andy doesn't spin them round. Potentially something he's missed.
Might be.
Yeah, definitely potentially something. We'll talk a little bit more.
Maybe he's trying to tempt him in.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I know. I can't believe he's not on the ale.
I can see the big boss there. I'd also be looking to reform the BSP into the middle somewhere. Try to get him closer to that combat as well.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of reforming going on. We're starting to get into the joys of Warhammer, where it starts getting actually really technical. Because 2 gyros survived 1 billion fanatics, and now Andy is having to dig deep to find a solution to it.
I mean, it's a good day for the Engineers Guild. Those Dawi, they're doing quite well in this, to be honest. They're standing up really, really well. And especially for him being the infantry block lists, they're surviving very, very well.
I think the fact that you've got the magic resist impacting it.
Yep.
The beam spell is on a 9.
Yep.
Meaning, even with the +2, the level 1s are needing a 9 to cast it.
So, an interesting point that I'd like to bring up in this is he hasn't managed to get the Rune of Calm off in a good enough range yet.
Yeah.
So he hasn't been reforming the Thunderers round. I mean, he hasn't. because he could have been reforming that every turn, moving that sapper further and further up the unit with calm, and then being able to try and get within 18 of those casters. I'm not sure why he hasn't been doing this. I think he's been too scared to move them in case he loses in trench, can't get it back, and then something goes horrendously wrong. But I don't think he's got to worry about that anymore. I think there's only one Fanatic in play.
Still the beams are there. Like, if that unit of Orcs dies, he cannot move forward because they're going to get into his flank and you're going to be getting 16, 17, 18 strength 5 hits at 83. Your ward save's not going to save you through that.
Yeah, reforming's a really massive way to play, like especially infantry. Like I reform constantly all of the time. Reforming is a really good tool to get character placement before you get charged. Whether you want to have a fighty character move in front of a specific target in a unit so they have to charge into that point, or if you want to move a character out so he can't be hitting base-to-base contact, reforming is really, really important. Also, moving those characters around to be able to get...
dying.
Oh, no.
There's 2 dead. They're starting to get thin.
Right, so he is now down to, I believe that is 9 rangers remaining with the 2 characters in. All right, he's probably going to have to start doing some panic soon, which is really, really annoying. Which he should be fine, though. He's going to be on leadership 10. Yeah, and it might be some old dwarven treasure, though, or like a potential runic axe, maybe, that they've pilfered from a hold.
It's going to be another 2 hits, because he's got an aligned, so maybe...
Hey, Leaf, hope you're well, mate. Right, so has he managed to get through?
We're struggling to see at the moment. He's just going through all of the spells at the moment, so he'll be wind blasting, he'll be doing everything he can.
Right, so he only rolled... was an 8, so he's managed to... 1 second, I'll find it. Andy, what's going on? Wind blast. Have they gone off? Yeah. Okay, so 2 beams have gone off. They've killed 4 guys, and then he's going for wind blast.
Wind blast has just gone through.
Yeah. So on a 10, he's trying to get rid of it. Right, so unfortunately, he only managed to roll a 7 on his dispel. Ooh.
Big strength 5's coming in.
Oh, so only 3 have got through. He rolled some 2s.
There is 3 more dead.
Oh, that's...
And they're not running as well, which isn't the end of the world for Andy, because he can keep shooting them.
Yeah. I think
another wind blast goes off.
I think a failed leadership test then would have actually been beneficial for the dwarves.
I think are they under half strength, so they would have been a flee.
Either way, they can't flee off the board. They're further than...
There's another 2 dead. This is the danger of this list. Once it starts churning, it starts putting out some wounds.
Like I said before, that's like a 500-point unit.
Yeah, he's going to have to try... I don't think we'll get... He's going to have to reform with the Thunderers to try to get close enough to get those characters out, because they are not looking safe anymore. He's going to have to start allocating wounds to them. They are not the healthiest.
Well, he's got a rune of passage in there, so he's not going to lose the movement by moving into the wood. So what I would be doing at this point is by doing a massive reform. I'd
be lucky if I was Andy, because he's just got the summon elemental spirits. Oh, instead of putting it in front, which he has, I would be looking to put it to the side of the unit, so that the character has to go through it to get through to the other unit to get safety as well. Yeah, but that is a very poorly looking unit of rangers.
Yeah, like
very poorly.
Something the rangers could, something the Thunderers could do at this point as well is when you're doing the reform, you can move up by 6 inches. So you could come up diagonally.
The challenge he's got is the amount of models. Actually, he's got some in the second rank, so he should have enough.
Yeah, he should have enough, I think. Yeah, should have enough. I would also even potentially start angling so you come up onto the objective and then could potentially threaten a charge.
Yeah.
It would be a disordered charge for sure, and you wouldn't be able to close. But I think a charge into those goblins might be a nice little Hail Mary turn 6 little charge. But I don't think he's going to do it. I don't think he's going to do it. I think Aaron's too scared of what could potentially happen.
So there's a couple of things that Andy could do here, because I think he's got 1 Fanatic left. One is release it from that the units at the front. You could fire it down his own unit because they don't pop out. They just keep going until you can place them to protect the flank of his unit of goblins there. He has moved a big boss into it, so he's going to have to get...
I mean, that is exactly what's happening now. The Fanatic is popping out. So the way that they're ruled, like Dave just said, they're going to pop through the entire unit and he's going to try and murder the gyrocopters. So fingers crossed for Aaron, it doesn't work, but for Andy, he's praying on it.
I can now just charge the Doom.
Yeah.
If you charge the Doom Diver, it's gone. He's just trying to protect that unit of goblins with it.
Yeah. Oh, he's thinking. Right, so Andy is currently thinking whether or not he wants to do that.
I mean, you would have to put it in front of the unit because it's going to hit the wood.
Yeah. So it's just been called out. There was an hour left in this round. There was an hour left. We are on the start of turn 4.
So I'm going to see what charges and then take a mini break because I've had several coffees this morning.
That is the problem.
Once you hit our age, there are leakages everywhere. That's quite that we need to resolve. So I will be dashing in a moment.
Well, they do call it Old World, right? That's the... Right, so that is the...
Vortexes are moving. So he's not charged then. He has not charged.
So interesting.
They're moving Fanatics.
Oh, no, he is charging. Yeah, he is charging. Right, so the gyrocopteros are going in. So unfortunately, we are kind of missing the top little bit of the screen where the Doom Divers are, but the gyrocopters have connected in with the Doom Diver. So we should be able to overrun into the second Doom Diver, which is just slightly missing off. We're missing like the back 2 inches of the screen, which is really annoying considering there's stuff happening there now. But
that's the fact that he's going to pick up the second one on the overrun as well. It's not the end of the world. He's still ahead. Fundamentally, it's not the end of the world for him. He's still winning, but it's something that he needs to deal with. Which
definitely.
Andy doesn't want to because he's nearly got that unit of dwarfs killed. So,
hey, you're right, mate. How's it going, buddy? Hope you're well.
For a quick breather, so I'll be back in a few moments, boys. I'll do a sweep of the room as well to see if we
if you can find us some stuff that's going on. If you can find out what's happening in Tom Carley's game with the peasants as well, that could be quite good. There's some really fun lists. I think we're going to have a little mooch around after this game is finished and try and find like a nice, interesting one next. We have heard that you want to see blocks, so we'll pick some blocks at the next one rather than some line hammer abuse. Right, so there is a reform happening here. I think he's going to be marking out where he can actually get to. So he's going to have to spin around on his center and then he can expand out to that point. So there's going to be a nice little cheeky one happening. Is he going to try and drag the heroes out from the Rangers into the Thunderers? I feel that's probably going to be the smart move. Hopefully he manages to do that. So the only armies that aren't here, I think there isn't a Skaven army, but there are most of the legacies here. There's a Dark Elves, there is Ogre Kingdoms, vampires, obviously, but I think it's only Skaven isn't in show. Although Jack Ward is actually running a full cafe army that's made out of Skaven models. Like his balloons are just like Skaven hanging off them and stuff, which are really, really cool. And his Shigengans are, you know, the old Forge World giant rats. So he's got them, which is really cool. So technically Skaven are here in spirit, but I'm pretty sure that everything else, it's a really, really well-rounded tournament. Like there's a few Renegade Crowns lists here as well. There's some really fun ones. So we've got Empire, we've got basically everything. It seems at this tournament that people have kind of gone away from what the kind of the meta picks are as well. No, there are demons here. Yeah, no, there are demons too. I literally think it's only Skaven that isn't being represented, which is a shame. I mean, one of the Skaven players is actually here, but he's currently playing Empire instead of Skaven. He normally likes to run the Plague Monk brick, but he's swapped out to an Empire Knights of More army, I believe. No. We've got demons. I will have a quick look at his list. Might share it onto the screen as well, actually, in a second. Just give me a second and I'll find where is the demons of chaos? Because I'm not sure what type of demons. It's called. Right, it's called. Right, I'm not going to go through this now because we could actually just stream it later on. I think streaming one of those games is It's a pretty good idea. It'd be quite nice to get some of the demons on. So Cathay are still a little bit overtuned, but they're overtuned in a different way. Like balloons are fine now. Like I don't really mind painting into the balloons, but it is the Shigengans and the cannons that are still overtuned. And then in the meta lists, they're running as many Shigengan lords as possible. And then the cannons, I mean, the good stuff is always going to rise to the top. People are going to always try and break these armies, which is fine. Tom Carley isn't running any Shigengans in his army, though. He's running a full peasant brick. So we'll probably try and get him on because he's just got loads of peasants. They look awesome as well. He's done a really good job. He has shared all of the pictures of his army. I think he's done it into the Facebook pages, and he's also put them up into the Dawi After Dark Discord. So if you want to see what his peasant army looks like, please head over there and you can go see them. But we're probably going to try and get him on stream as well, just because it's a bit of a different list. I think for this tournament, we just wanted to show stuff off that isn't like the kind of the top meta stuff and just show off some of the fun things. This one is kind of a little bit close to my heart because obviously it's X-Force playing into Dwarves and Goblins, the old enemy. And this is Brewis' new kind of like beam list as well, which is fun. But interestingly, for those of you who've just kind of logged in, this is using the Forgotten North comp where beams are subject to magic resist. So they are not as strong as they are uncomped or also in the WTC comp as well. They have still managed to blast off probably about 300 points of Rangers currently, which is a little bit annoying. Right, so Creation host as well. Right, we'll try and make everybody happy and show off the armies that are most requested. There is a double anvil list, so hopefully we get some double anvil into some high elves. I mean, that'll be a fun one to watch a little bit later on as well. I think we're going to try and stay away from the undead lists until a little bit later on, because it'd be quite nice to show the winner of the event later on. So playing like the two players playing for the win, I think it'd be quite nice to show that in round 5. But I can imagine that's probably going to be one of the strong Cathay lists going into one of the vampire lists probably. So we'll try and stay away from them as much as we possibly can. Until later on, anyway. Right, so there is the charges now. The gyrocopters are overrunning into the second Doom Diver. They've killed the first one, and now they've overrun into the second one. Like I said before, unfortunately, we're missing the 2 inches, which to guys is quite a lot, right? Yeah, exactly. Like over Masters, and especially the one before, there's been too much undead on. So I think we're going to stay away from them as much as we possibly can. I mean, unless the final round is undead versus undead, we'll try and watch that one. But hopefully it won't be. So we won't watch it. If it's undead v undead, we'll pick something else. We're going to try and pick the fun ones. Like I said, there's some renegade crowns here too, so that'll be quite awesome. Yeah, no, hopefully. I'd really like to get dwarves on every single stream, so maybe we could get dwarves on. We'll have to go around and have a look at the different matchups after this. So when we go into the break between this stream and the next stream, then we'll go the next. Yeah, so I can't remember the comp for undead. I don't think they're using the I don't think it's the Masters comp for this. I think it's just the Forgotten North. So I think you still get the rerolls in the Arise, which is a little bit annoying. Yeah, so there's no Slayer force here, which is a little bit of a shame. But then again, the nerfs to Doomseekers is kind of taking the most fun build out, which is just a massive shame. Like, I don't understand why we're getting so many targeted nerfs. I'm hoping for the next FAQ, which I can imagine will be really soon, will hopefully be a bit better for us and we won't get any targeted nerfs. I mean, they are the evil cousins. Tom Bazowski is here playing as Chaos Dwarves. He's currently playing into the double blob. So I will kind of come back with some information on how the Dawis are doing in their first game into the blob. That's in a kind of a hard game for any dwarf, including the Chaos Dwarves. So I'm not sure how that's going to go. Oh, have you not seen them at all? Right. So I did actually stream them at the Masters. I believe that they were playing. Who they were playing into? I think it might have been Keith. But we have it was playing into Ed actually. So at the Masters, we're playing into Close Orders Ed Fawcett. So if you want to go back and watch that one, I mean, we'll probably try and we'll try and stream it. It'd be quite nice to stream the ones that people haven't seen too much. Yeah, no, 100%. You know what? I'm not actually sure. Andy, where's your baggage train? Where's your baggage train? Oh, okay. It wasn't where I thought it was. Yeah. So the baggage train is it's like a see-through that you can't actually see on the screen, which is super handy. The gyrocopter is actually in base contact with the baggage train now. So if you kind of look really closely, there's like a really see-through kind of like square. Ah, there you go. Right, there you go.
Like a single one, stick up.
Okay, right. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Destroy it though.
Right, we have a Dave back. Right, I'm going to take this opportunity to also come to the toilet. I'll see everybody in a second.
It's the rotation of the weak bladders today. So, too many coffees, too many peas. So, that's because I'm like a window, Callum. Like a window, transparent. So, we'll see how Andy reacts to this. It looks like he's going for another reform of the back unit. Now, I need Richard to come back to see if he's managed to get the characters out of that unit of dwarves, because that's going to be a huge swing and probably the game, because they will die this turn. He's going to get zapped. In terms of games updates, I can only remember a few of them, I'll be honest with you. So Steve Toll with his Cathay appears to have had a strong win. Sam Toll has managed to get a 15-5, I believe, with his vampire counts. Jack Toll is running away with it as a 20-0 win. And currently, the Double Anvil Dwarfs are currently beating the Renegade Crowns. So the Renegade Crowns fans, there is a losing position at the moment for the Double Anvil Dwarfs. Tom Carley is doing okay, apparently. He couldn't give me a number, but there is a lot of nonsense going on that table, a lot of peasants. And Amy Chatley with her spiders into the Dark Elves, not having a good game. She's here to win Best Painted, not Best Player, I think, this weekend. So, bit of a challenge for her to come through, but we've got a reform happening here with the Goblins. He's just positioning and threatening. They're never going to touch those gyros. He's still facing the wrong way by the looks of things. So maybe just going to control his baggage train later. Can't destroy it this turn. Kill the gyro. Yeah. It's going to be a thing. Josh's game, I couldn't get a figure for you, I'm afraid. But we'll update. We've got half an hour, 45 minutes left on the round. So we'll update it once we've got the results from games coming in elsewhere. I've not got the best course pairings on my phone, so we'll have to let you know when Richard returns. Which old weak bladder is back.
I'm coming. Right, I'm back. So a little bit of news from some of the games around the board. Robin Gilly with his X-Force has 20 Odin Empire player. And also the Chaos Dwarves into the double blobbin is looking like a draw. So pretty decent score for both of them, I think, actually.
Yeah, not too bad. It's like Bill Oddie in here, Callum. It's piss watch.
Yeah.
The lesser spotted weak bladder.
Yeah.
So reforms happening on the Goblins. Just trying to get some ranks up now. I mean, he'll not get ranks because he's in the woods, probably, but
Yeah. So
he's trying his best.
So a little update on the double anvil list as well.
Already done it. He's winning.
I know. It's actually doing really well. Wild.
He is charging around the board.
I know.
Hope he doesn't get great sworded because he is currently locked in marching column. They have a bunch of the Outriders wrapped around a unit in marching column, stuck.
Yeah, never good. Although there are 2 magic missiles that could potentially just destroy everything that's chilling around.
Dreams.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
So we'll be back in about 30 minutes, I think, at this point when Andy's done with his reform here. He's doing this all for the ranks, which he's not going to get because he's in the wood. But I think he's just looking to threaten his baggage train. The gyros are going to stay where they are because they can't overrun because of the impassable, because they've got to do it on the ground. So, yeah, they maybe are going to turn around, but it doesn't look like he has.
I mean, they want to stay there and destroy the baggage train anyway. He wants the points.
He's moving backwards with goblins. Don't approve of that.
Right. It's getting all technical and stuff. We didn't ask for this on stream. What's he doing? It's not even Masters.
He's trying his best here. This isn't acceptable. So he's just closing in. I think he stays where he is with the orcs and takes out those dwarfs there. I can't see if he managed to get the characters out. I might go and ask. But there's a master rune.
No, the character's still in.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
It's going to be a rough day for him. I think he just stays where he is with the goblins. Maybe try and get a TMP to swap their positions.
Yeah. Right, so Andy has managed to do a full reform with that top goblin unit in the woods, which is an interesting one because he doesn't have any ranks anyway.
It's just to make sure he's controlling his baggage train. If we look at turn sequencing, he's going to overrun, which means he can't take control of it. He gives Andy another turn to kill that unit of dwarfs. I'd like to see him start daisy chaining his skirmishers with his move this turn, just to give him more movement on his travel mystical when he goes for it. He'll deal with those dwarfs and then travel mystical to the back, play it safe, kill those gyros and call it a day. He'll have the objective score, he'll have the kill points. There'll be very little Aaron can do. I think he needed to push forwards a lot harder.
I think if he'd have done a couple of reforms with those Thunderers and then gone for a turn 4 or turn 5 charge into those goblins, I think he could have started to kind of break through them, I think. But unfortunately, he's
well, fortunately, depending on
which side of the border
at this point in time.
Yeah.
But
he's just decided to play it safe. I think he's just kind of accepted the fact he's going to get a small loss, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's going to be small. It's going to be pushing on the 15s. I think if that unit of dwarfs dies, he's going to start hitting characters. There's no lookout sirs for them. It's going to struggle to keep them in range of Grugny. It's going to start getting rough for that unit of dwarfs there.
This is a problem. If he could have got those characters out, considering that he's managing to clear up the backboard and get in the baggage train potentially.
There's a TMP coming, and he is going full zap. He is going to try and down the flank to get multiple hits with the beams. He's going for the kill. I'd like to see that TMP go both ways. So one, get aggressive, but continue to give cover on the hill, but leave a couple of skirmishers back so he can then get them out of trouble next turn when it goes off.
I mean, they can be tough. The problem is that all of the damage output in the Orc beam list is all AP3. So all of the Fanatics are AP3 and all of the beams are AP3 as well. So unfortunately, it doesn't matter how tough you are, you can't really deal with it. Like, he's not really getting a save. He's outside of the Grungni for the 6-up ward on that unit as well from the BSB. So it's not good. Like, if he can get loads of hits down that unit, it's pretty rough, to be honest.
Is struggling with my top-heavy Orc Shaman at the moment. They used to be magnetized to metal, which keeps them nice and upright. Less so now. He's now going for it. He smells blood, and rightly so. There is a big swing in points that can potentially come. He's going to be out of range of the Master Rune of Calm by the looks of things, so he's just relying on that MR to do its work. He is looking at staying out of range of the Gunthane if he can. It's going to be a little bit rough for Aaron for a turn, and if that unit dies, he could get very aggressive with the beams. Like, he could be pushing down that flank of the dwarfs, which means Aaron potentially has to reform to stop him getting so many hits, which then reduces his output. It starts to go downhill a little bit. for him, and it sort of forces him to
Yeah.
extra points. Those Fanatics earlier were huge as well. Like, if they'd gone off, it would have gone real south.
Oh yeah, 100%. So in this comp, the beams actually do take into account magic res. So if he managed to get calm off, which he hasn't, then they would actually be quite difficult to get through. But I do think like uncomped beams just go amazingly into dwarves, really annoyingly. Which is why I think in the future, I think there should be a change for dwarves. Like, I don't think MR is that good enough. There's so many other spells that can deal damage or affect dwarves in different ways. I think that there should be like a 5-up ward for dwarves against magical damage, even if it's not from a magic missile. And I feel that that would just kind of represent it better than magic resist, I think. Just because there's so many different ways that you can do damage outside of magic missiles. It's definitely sad times, but he is killing the Doom Divers. The Doom Divers are dying, and he also is going to get that baggage train as well. So that is good.
Skirmishy nonsense. He's still getting his cover. He's spread out with them, and he's just going to start zapping. And he's hoping that it goes off. He kills that unit, and then he's looking pretty damn safe.
There is still a cannon alive, though. So the cannon could potentially try and get a nice cheeky shot for a couple of the characters. If he could fail a lookout, sir, then potentially could like flash some points back would be quite nice. But then again,
it's like the one you want to kill the general. He's got the immune multi-wound.
What you doing?
And then the others are 3 of them are worth like 100 points. They're not great to kill.
Unless he could get a nice strafing shot through, roll 4 ones, kill all of them, would be the glorious play.
Again. So yeah, it looks like we're going to shoot him.
Right, so he's got the... Right, so he's just... The beam's gone through. Unfortunately, Aaron hasn't managed to dispel it, unfortunately. So he's just going to be rolling the distance now.
So they're allocating onto characters as well appropriately. So they are doing some nonsense. They are working out what's going to be hit. These individual characters as well. Each one, there's no lookout sirs anymore. There's not enough dwarfs to do it, which does favour it.
Right. Oh, so that's 3 of them just died straight from that. So onto the sapper. Horrendous.
It's the end of the phase in Compact,
Is that the unit dead?
Yeah.
Right, so the unit is dead and it's just down to the characters. The characters didn't take any wounds, so that's really, really good.
The issue being is that they don't split until the end of the turn, which is good for Aaron, because he'll still get his MR from the Runesmith on the other character. If he didn't have that, Andy would be able to target the MR one guy and then beam through both.
Yeah.
So we'll see how this gets on.
Right, he's done a wound to the sapper. Right, more beams are coming across now. Oh, he's casting so high, like, and he's getting 11s and 12s. Like, he's just not going to be able to stop that with the Runesmith.
Yeah. It's the challenge of he's still disadvantaged because the MR2 he's +1. The big beams are at +3, and he's still got to beat the roll. So he's got to roll 1 higher, which makes it's harder to dispel than it is to cast. So you're always the challenge. You're hoping that the magic resist at MR2, you're at advantage on a normal level 3.
Yeah.
But
and like
because of the Orc rule, you get the extra +1 to cast. It makes a big deal. Another beam going off here. He's measuring.
Sapper's dead.
Sapper's dead.
Oh, and the Runesmith.
And the Runesmith's gone.
Sad times. It's like a 500-point swing just to get a unit dying.
Sad times ahead. And now he's got the opportunity to actually push the flank of that big unit of Thunderers. Aaron has to react to that because he could be getting 20, 30 hits from these beams, and that's going to start
he needs to reform. He needs to get in a line. He needs to
get out of the line and turn. Get him out of the flank.
He can just reform. He just needs to reform up. Give your flank to the goblins because they can't do anything anyway.
I mean, there's one Fanatic left, but it's not going to do much.
No.
And to set up the wind blasts into that Fanatic for multiple hits as well.
It's not enough. But that is a big unit of Thunderers.
It is a big chunky unit.
Yeah, yeah.
And unfortunately, with the cover, I think Aaron just. I don't know whether it's the gyros now.
Yeah.
I think Andy next turn just leaves that Thunderstar alone.
Yeah, I don't think there's any point in. It depends on how Aaron reforms.
Yeah.
But if he gives him a flank, he's going to go in and start smashing. If not, then he might as well just pull back and get out of the gun thing, because the gun thing could pop up and kill a load of those orcs, and then potentially cause a fib go off the board.
Panic. You've got the reroll there, though.
There's potential though.
There is potential.
He's only about 3 inches away from the edge of the board, so he could potentially
But you can take away from the ones that are near the edge of the board.
characters.
Yeah, I guess that'll be a thing. Yes, overstretch to get it.
Definitely bugger for the dwarves. There is a play out of here. There is a play.
I mean, can you not just take away the ones to kill the characters without the embargo anyway? He loses characters, but then he doesn't lose the entire thing in general.
Yeah,
So
potentially. Well, it depends. Well,
it does.
because they're all characters on that end. You wouldn't want to just give all the character points, I suppose. You wouldn't risk it. Right, Aaron's going to have to proper think about what he's doing.
I think the gyros have got themselves another Doom Diver for breakfast.
It's quite an easy kill for him, really. Like the
the impact hits a lot, so.
D3 impact each and then 2 attacks each with hatred as well. Should be able to murder him.
Andy. Plenty of time.
Yeah, so we got 30 minutes remaining. 30 minutes remaining in this round.
I think the turns are going to start getting a lot quicker now anyway. Aaron's effectively got 2 units on the board to play with, so... Oh, there are more Fanatics coming out. Why are they going there? What's Andy doing?
What is he doing?
Last one.
Oh, he died. Oh. So that is the 4th Fanatic in a row that he's rolled a double for?
Yep. He kills the gyro with the other one. Panic.
It's annoying.
Ah, separate units. Spicy. So unit gyro's gone down now, which does mean he can't take the baggage train anymore.
Definitely going in the book.
Yeah. Stops him from taking the baggage train. It's a really bad position now. That is the only line for Aaron. So he looks like he is going for the reform to shoot the orcs. It is only the king that's going to do anything because everybody else will be -3.
Yeah, I'll have a look at that for the next stream and see how that goes. I'll have a mess around with it.
Yeah, so it looks like he's just going to reform. He's going to shoot the unit. And that'll be his turn. And then for me, I would like to see Andy just go safe after that. Get himself out of dodge, hide behind the hill. He's firing his cannon.
Yeah, I think he's just going to go for a bit of a Hail Mary shot into some characters now. It's probably what I'd be doing. Oh, he's rolled a misfire and he's lost a wound.
Itself off.
Yeah, it's itself up, so that's good.
Got Dirty Harry. Andy being very gentlemanly and reminded him to move his gyrocopter closer to him so he can kill him. Typical scumbag behaviour from Andy Okun. He's a little bit upset that he's not got his 10-10 today. So it'll take some effort for him to get his 10-10, I should say. Yeah.
So unfortunately, there is only one gyrocopter left, so he can't claim it.
Hits and turning into 7, needing 4s.
Right, so 4 wounds into the orcs.
Oops, last 4.
4 die.
Don't think it's enough for the panic.
Well, he's just going to have to shoot the rest, I think. Is none of the other...
Nano in range, I don't think, or whatever. We've done nothing, so it's Andy's turn.
That's a bit of a shame. It would have been quite nice to have seen a cheeky panic and then them getting pushed off the board.
First, you'd say that.
Yeah, I know. Right?
You're racist against green people.
We've all got a bias in this game.
Yours is just a conscious bias, though.
It is a conscious
bias. Not unconscious. I know I hate goblins. I'm sick of them. So, Noblord, basically, they are a magic missile. And if you go into the master of the magic missile, it specifies that it has to have a target. There's a number of rules around a magic missile. So you effectively, you say, I am going to try to hit this unit with the beam, and then roll your cast. That's where it is. In Raw, Forgotten North's ruling is correct. However, other people disagree. It's 6 and 2 3s either way.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's something that's clarified, because it is a magic missile. It is a little bit overcomplicated as to how to work it in-game. So, yeah, it's a mini challenge.
Yeah, I think it was kind of specifically put in place for this list, really. Just like the uncompetition list is...
It's Scott and Stan that just hate people having fun.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
Unless you're a Tomb King, you're not allowed to have fun at Forgotten North. That is Scott's rulings. So, let's see how this magic goes.
Right. I've got no idea how to change the anti-flicker, but I will have a look at that.
So, Fanatics are moving. Did Andy get the ramparts off onto the orcs? He did. So he's got ramparts ×2. The Durham Prince Harry is not looking impressed. There will not be a knighthood for Andrew Orcombe today, I'm afraid. It looks like if this travel mystical pathway goes off, then I think it is absolutely game. He's now going to control his own baggage train. Obviously, the dorsal carriage there, so it'll wipe itself out. But Andy's been sat on 2 objectives for full 6 turns. So he's lost out on 60 points at the start, 30 points in the second round, and it's been 60 ever since. You've lost a cannon, a full unit of gyros, full unit of dwarfs, a runesmith, a sapper. I think this is pushing into the 15-16s. Andy is likely to now be in a position where he's just going to travel mystical pathway backwards if he can, kill that last gyro, and call it a day.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, you can definitely do that. It's just that's the way that it's come to this event, so that's the way that they've got to play it. It's kind of the same as the cannon debate, right? So the comp for cannons in this is you can't fire at stuff you can't see. So it's kind of a very similar one. It's literally the FAQs for these are just put in place to make it a little bit less feels baddy for people. People don't like playing against the beams. People don't like playing against the cannons. So they've kind of just brought them back down a little bit.
The challenge is, because I actually raised that with the rules team for Forgotten North and says, well, you know, there is a lot of gaminess you can do with that. Like I target one unit and fire it the other way. And that's where the sort of ruling on beams has come from originally. It's 6 and 2 3s. I think it's interesting for everybody to see how beams work in this environment as well. Because we know they're strong when you use they don't trigger MR. So why not we try it while they do and see how they do? And they seem to be doing fine. I probably wouldn't run as many beams as this list. If that was the ruling and I knew that was the ruling, there's a few things I'm playing around with, or should I say Andy Orcombe is definitely playing around with. I'd never write a list like this. So yeah, it's just different opportunities, different comps, different things. Gives you more opportunities to play the game and see how things work and figure out new puzzles.
Yeah.
Oh, the King's left the unit. The Thane, the Dirty Harry has left the unit of dwarfs. He is tempting Andy Orcombe. He is tempting Andy Orcombe for shizzle. The Grinaldi, the Book of Grudges, or as I like to call it, your little diary. When you've had a bad day, and the orcs and goblins have beat you up and stole your house again, and you go home and you write it in your little diary.
Boo! It's going in the book, man.
In the diary.
Yeah.
No, he said something mean about me. I can't believe it. Why can't we just be all friends?
Just because you want a new house.
Just grow up. Dwarfs. Grower.
Ah,
Oh, he's gone for it. Andy's going for the kill. So he is out of the unit. He's taking a risk now to go for a bigger win. Probably wouldn't do it myself. I'd just be like, call it a day. But Andy loves a beam. And now this is the exact scenario that you've just talked about there about MR. He will be targeting the king with the beam for MR1 and firing it down the line of the Thunderers, avoiding the MR2. So there is still gaminess that's going to happen. But look at this. There is some beams coming. Aaron does not look happy. He is questioning his decisions in life. As am I, to be fair. Why would you leave the unit? He was safe. Aaron's upset by how long and the creeping dread of individually moving these characters to get them into optimal beaming position. And you will hear some cheers as he fails to cast every single...
So basically, for everybody out there, Aaron has, for some unknown reason, decided to take his Thane BSB, which is the battle standard bearer, outside of the unit to try and get a better shot around the corner. But now he's going to get 3 beams put through him. What?
There's going to be a lot of wind blasting, a lot of everything going into that Thane.
What are you doing?
Aaron is just going for a royal visit, is what he's doing. His Thane is come out of Durham. He's coming to see where the poors live. And yeah, it'd be impressive to see if he can survive this. But we might see some of the greatest beams we will ever see down that entire length of the... If we see a 25, a 26 on the roll,
It's just been...
that could be a lot of dead dwarfs. That's... This is Aaron, who typically comes to an event and gets upset if he wins a game, to be fair. So I think he's now forcing himself into the lower ranks.
He just wants some easy games, that's what he is. He's submarining.
He's sick of it. It's just staring off into the distance.
He does look quite sad. I might spin the camera around to look at his face.
Need to get a picture of Aaron right now.
Wait a minute, I'm going to spin the camera around.
So let's rotate. He's moving.
Oh, he's moving. Oh, he's moved. He's moved.
Shy. He's got shy. But it is an awful thing to happen to such a lovely boy. But in the words of Radiohead, you've done it to yourself. And that's what really hurts.
Not even sure why he's taking him out of the unit. Because some of the unit's not...
It was to try and get a better shot. Right.
I mean, at that point, you just try and conserve points, right? Yeah. I think he's just trying to get greedy in a bad situation.
I mean, it's one of these things. If that works, then it swings the game. If they feel that panic and they're off the board, then, yeah, you've turned a loss into a win. It is singles. So he's saying, you know what? If this works, brilliant. If it doesn't, I'm losing anyway.
Yeah, and it's game 1 as well. So then you can just submarine.
Submarine back up.
So for
Aaron always looking for the submarine, but we're going into...
So for anybody that doesn't play in tournaments, submarining is where you lose your first game and then you get some easier opponents because they've also lost 2. Well, hopefully meant to be easier opponents anyway. And then you can kind of get back your points and then rise up the tournament that way. Some people use it to try and get like a better podium finish at the end. But I think it's kind of risky because you never know who you're going to play into.
It is awful dwarf behaviour, to be fair.
It is.
Absolutely filthy from the dwarfs. It's shocking, to be fair. And then they'll go home and write it in their diary afterwards. So I've done this on purpose to get some easier games, and then I'm going to write it in my little diary to say how upset I am about it. How dare you let me do what I'm doing?
It is going straight in the book. Although I think Aaron's going in the book.
Aaron is going in the book.
Right, so they're going off now. So it's the range for the beams.
So first one has gone off.
Right, so he's just doing his saves now.
It looks like.
Right, so he's nice.
This is. I think it was just the fireball.
Is that just the fireball? Oh, that's a big roll on. Andy, was that a beam or a? What was that? It was a beam.
It's a big beam. And then if anybody's a fan of Peep Show, And he does subscribe to the Big Beams manifesto of big beams are best beams, get high all the time. So see how much damage he can do here. To be fair, Mark, Richie tends to do the 0 to 5 submarine. He just loses all of his games to submarine himself to best sporting.
It is the way.
It's the trick that he uses.
It is the way. Oh, I'm currently on the 10-10 hype at the moment, to be fair.
Yeah. And you still went for it.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
So he actually has the Rune of Karmoth, so he's been kind of smugly sat there and nothing's actually going off. So let's saved him.
It has a little bit. We'll see if it saved him, though.
Right, he has lost a couple of dwarfs, though. It's not going to be enough now, though.
Yeah.
The fact he's not going for the Thane.
I think you just go for the Thane with everything now and try to... Because that's the only thing that's going to make a difference now. If you can kill the Thane could move you off.
Yeah. And the characters are on the edge of the units as well, so they could potentially die to coherency issues.
Maybe. I think there's enough fluff around the unit to keep it, but...
If he kills like 12... Which you could. Right, so he's just working out if he needs to do a panic check. He doesn't yet. He's only lost 6. So, is that a wind blast? Andy, is that a wind blast?
I got a win last time, got so bad. The second final, this is a amethyst place.
Oh, okay.
Why haven't you gone for the Thane?
It's the penny.
Right, so he's having to give ground away. Which is kind of pushing away from the Thane even a little bit more, actually. Oh, well, that's opening up into a nice little beam line.
It's
Right, so he's going to start putting everything through the Thane now.
it's Summon Elemental Spirits goes down.
Yeah. So a second Summon Elemental Spirits is going down now as well. Goes off on a note. Right, is that range to the spell, unfortunately?
Spell. So he's just relying on the rolling, which there's rerolls. It's gonna be nasty.
Right, so there's a third Summon Elemental
All on top of each other. It's the one of these will hit your king. Honest.
Now, I personally think that they shouldn't be allowed to stack.
Of course you would. Two Thane about to get triple teamed. You leave my summoned elemental spirits alone.
Thank you. Thanks, Mom. Hi,
Thanks,
Mom. On the telly.
We've got sound now.
Yeah, I know, yeah. I think she was trying to ring me earlier to tell me that we didn't have any sound.
Yeah.
No. So they are far enough away that they can't. We kind of got to shout them to get their attention.
1 inch or
To be fair, they wouldn't listen to the nonsense that comes out of us anyway. So first two of the elements.
I mean, if they could have listened to us, Aaron would have done something that we'd have been saying for him to do. Right. Right, just kind of
So this is the big one. Does he get Karmoth?
yeah, this is big. I mean, it's the final 10 now as well, right?
maybe what?
Oh, right. Calms off.
It's
Comes through.
and he joins the unit. Keeps himself safe.
I'd say that.
And he appears calm. But
In the face of calm.
it's turned it. It's going to be quick.
Almost like
Is he just giving away his turn?
Yeah, he's moved him back at the unit, keep safe.
Yeah, fine.
Are you not shooting into the skirmishers? You're not shooting into the skirmishers?
Line of sight, because the summon elementals are in front of him blocking line of sight as well, so...
Yeah, I really don't think you should be able to be honest. I mean, hopefully they address that in the future.
It's whether he goes for the gyro now, because he's not going to kill that unit. I think he's just going for the big beams for the memes.
Yeah.
This is where we're at in the game.
Yeah, so we are streaming Forgotten Awful Weekend, and we're actually going to do some fun games as well. So we're just trying to show off loads and loads of different armies and like different ways to play as well. There's loads of different legacy lists here as well. We've also got Renegade Crowns. We're going to try and pick some fun ones, and also some of the armies that are a little bit different. Right, and we're showing off in this one the beams list. We did a video with Brewis on the other day. And Andy is now going to do a massive load of beams right up the line of the Dwarves, which isn't a great one. I think, unfortunately, Aaron has kind of given up at this point. Going into the final turn. I think he thinks that the beams aren't going to be able to do enough damage on the unit to be able to claim points, but I mean, they potentially could if he rolls high enough.
It's fancy. If the right ones go off, and he gets a roll, you're looking at potentially 20, 30 strength 5 AP3 hits. This is exactly where the beams want to be. No,
there actually are. So there is a dwarf army here that's got double anvil, which is cool as hell. Which was just playing into the Renegades Crowns and actually beating the Renegades Crowns at the moment. We will get a little bit of an update on that one in a bit. For the next game. So the game currently has 14 minutes left. Then we're going to be going on lunch break, and then we'll be back. I think it's like half an hour after that. So we will be back on round 2 in 45 minutes. But there's still 50 minutes left of this game.
50 minutes go. We'll probably do some interviews afterwards.
Yeah. Well,
Richie will.
Yeah. Well, we'll get these two on anyway, so they can kind of talk through their game, and then we'll get some food.
Oh, is it miscast or? Just failed. What's happened? Miscast?
6.
Oh, he's double 6 defeated. The big beam got faded.
You've just been asked, can you replace the gobos with snotlings in the beam list?
Yes. That's the easy answer. Snotlings, it depends on how the tournament rules, how beam spells work. Huge units of snotlings can be great because they're not going anywhere. Like, you're not going to chew through all those wounds. So they would be fine to run, and I think a huge unit of snotlings to sit around your beams, and then having Ogdras to give you regen and earthen ramparts onto the snotlings would be pretty hilarious, to be fair, and just never move. But
pretty good.
Yeah, you can do anything with it. Like I'm sort of the release of that beams list was like the first iteration, and you'll see it. When we had Goblin Style back in the day, every event that I took it to, I would make changes to see what works and what doesn't work. Because there's no such thing as a complete list.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see in this list, I'm trying to find the points for it now. I think it comes down to 9 Fanatics to then start looking at, adding more threats for things. I quite like the Orc Big Boss on a boar with a great weapon as just a random 360 charging piece that can... Where the gyros...
Snotling meta!
The gyros, of course, are a load of problems in this game. Having the Fanatics and then a Big Boss behind. So if you fly over the top of me, I'll charge you with a Big Boss. I think something like that, and that could be finding the points for War Bosses on Cave Squigs as opposed to Big Bosses and units.
Yep.
I love Squigs. They're just really, really good. So there's still loads of changes that need to be tested in this list.
Good to see you, man. Thank you very much.
Black Orc versions. I've got Orc versions. There's loads of different things you can do with it. So I think it's out there in the world. Just build it how you want to build it, really. But I think Snotlings works. The fact that you can see over them then means that
really
even
works, right?
Even if the ruling is that you need a target, well, you can see over the Snotlings. And then Ogdras gives them ward and regen to try and save that wound taken. There's definitely play there. I just think that Night
Hey,
Goblins
right, mate.
score so well that it's hard not to take them, but how many you take is the question. The list is more stable with 12 because it's harder to roll doubles on 12s than it is 9, I guess. But there's loads you can do with it. Like, there's so much flexibility in Orcs and Goblins. So
Right, so they have just finished. We will jump up and get them on here so they can talk you through how the game went.
do you want to get Aaron up?
Let's get both of them up. We'll move out. Right, we're gonna quickly grab both of the players so they can talk through how the game went and also let you know the scores at the end of the doors as well. Right, so they are going to be coming up now. I'm pretty sure this is probably a win to the Beams list, but we're not sure how much they won by. Right, oh, both of Andy, you coming on? Well, both of them. Can you grab Andy as well? Right, I'm going to move out. They will let you know how the game went. Right, just.
Okay, brilliant.
Oh, sort me back out now.
Well, how do you think that went, Andy? So I think that went absolutely terrible for myself.
Yeah, the map, the sort of map and the match and the map and the objectives aren't great for you because you have to put
No, yes. So I've heard of that list by Bruce before. He'd sent me an earlier version of it, so I wasn't too enthusiastic to play it. But at least I'm going to be down the bottom tables with the beer and the fun games. So that's a win for me.
the Fanatics all kill themselves, double themselves out.
Yeah,
You should do the lottery, by the way.
Yeah. What I need you to do, Andy, is roll 3 doubles, and he did it.
Did he?
What a guy.
18-2.
Yeah, 18-2.
Yeah, the beam dream at the end didn't happen. Yeah, that was the glory. I was there. Excited. This is what it's built up 5 turns.
But yeah, Cathay, enjoy Cathay next game.
Did you enjoy Cathay? Yeah, Cathay are easy.
Awesome, right?
Right, cheers.
Thank you very much, mate.
Yeah,
Cheers.
no, it was a great game.
Right, awesome. They did pretty well. It was at 18-2, so it's pretty savage. So thank you so much, everybody, for watching, and I will catch you in about half an hour. So I'll get the next one loaded up, so that'll be ready to go by the time the next game starts. And we're going to pick a nice, fun one as well. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will catch you on the next one. Right, take care, everybody, and I'll see you soon.